Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Death of the Night month shot.
You said we gotta restart, man. You said I don't know.
Anyways, I'm your DM Connor, and joined with me is starting from my left is
You say our names.
Harry. Okay, it's Harry.
Greetings.
Ryan.
What's up?
Derek.
Hi.
Matthew. And Ethan.
Yo.
You guys sound so excited.
Well,
I mean, you
kinda-
kind of started.
I wanted to do something a little different, but then they were like, "No, that's not how you do it." So I was like, "Fine, you know what? Whatever."
Wait, what?
Whatever.
You didn't warn us beforehand.
Yeah, I was hoping that.
Yeah, we need prep
too.
time.
We were hoping
So-
we just read your mind.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. So
I thought you wanted a pencil.
I want a pen.
They just
Why would you
chucked
want a
it.
pen? You can't erase with a pen.
I just like writing with a pen. Just give me a pen.
Just give him every.
This is a marker, woman.
Hey, women are real. Women are real. Never mind. I don't care.
What did you try?
I was gonna say like women are well respected. I couldn't say it.
Yeah, because you can't conceive of it. That's why you can't say it.
I thought you were trying to say women are real. I was like,
This is all joking.
yeah, women are not real.
trust me, we know.
We haven't been able to find them.
Also, look at this.
Oh,
It'll help.
it's
with your
important
notes.
symbols.
It's
for
symbols
the-
for each house since you weren't here
A
last week.
guitar.
Oh, we were saying
A
to say
sharp
penis.
penis. And
No.
Yes, look at it. It looks like a sharp penis.
It's not a
What does
good-
yours look like, bro?
I said a sharp penis.
So sharp.
Oh, it sounds like you're saying a shark.
Why do you think they
penis.
call penises love arrows, bro? That's why the point is a mushroom top and it goes down a little bit.
Okay.
Anyways,
To the month shot.
Yep, so we last left off. Jeez, I keep saying that. I need to fix that speech error. Okay, so
Last we left off.
last we left off.
We left off last.
I'm gonna
With
lose
what?
my train of thought, and I'm gonna.
Last off we left.
Yes,
No
last
way.
off we left.
Blast off.
All of our Good Lord, I keep saying it. Not every time I say So it's just like I'm discussing. So we last left off. They were left in Corellia's room with transporting her body back to the lab in the astral plane facility. And everybody left, all of the Vampire Lord's children. They discovered the Vampire Lords in the floor of Corellia's room so she could better keep an eye on them. So far, everybody's a suspect, but evidence is leaning to a few different people, some more than others.
That one guy.
That one guy.
Should I tell them?
As I drove Ethan here today, I explained everything, but he knows Ivan as the name Blue Boy.
Okay, Blue Boy, okay.
Because I couldn't remember his actual name, but I remembered his house and his house color.
Yep. So,
House epidermis.
yeah, so I need to go into a little more detail about that. The children, Ivan Dermo, who's the son of Corellia, who's the vampire lord that died, he is extra fishy, but the other ones have probable cause to have killed her as well. It was only the first episode, so they're still gathering more evidence and they need some more answers. But we will start with them in Corellia's room. And what do you... you start in Corellia's room. Everybody just left and you're all alone. And how would you like to proceed?
Are the doors closed?
Yeah, the doors closed behind them whenever they left.
Okay.
Well, we have the body now in our office and quite a bit of evidence there as well. So, should we begin looking through all that?
My detect magic should still be up. I just want a clock to make sure that there's no more pings in the room. That would like stand out to me.
Would stand out? No. No, I think you hit everything in that room.
Okay.
Yep.
I am going to act like I'm just randomly wandering about in my kooky sort of way, but in actuality I'm using see invisibility.
See invisibility. You would see a So as I described the bookshelf of the library that she would sit in front of with her desk, there seems to be an invisible safe behind 2 of the books.
And I didn't clock it with detect magic.
Nope.
So, I'm gonna move over there and like my fingers are gonna blindly trace along the books, and then I'm going to act like all of a sudden something stood out from one of the covers, like spine or one of the book spines. I'm gonna take out the 2 that are in front of the safe, and then I'm going to like kind of inspect the front of the safe with my fingers.
Yep.
I
You
know.
can tell that it is not
My
magic.
character's blind.
That's completely new news to all
Yeah,
of
I
us.
didn't know. Didn't.
Yeah.
I
no.
literally
I was
described
mainly
at the beginning of this, they have a piece of cloth covering their eyes, and they have blind fighting as a style.
I remember you talking about the blind fighting, but I didn't think you meant. I didn't think I.
Oh.
I was more speaking the fact
That's
we
why
were
you guys
wandering
didn't bully me more. That's interesting.
Also, it's not your first time playing a blind character.
True,
you
yeah.
blind
For Connor's
fuck.
one shots. For Connor's one shots too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blind characters
He doesn't
are
want
good
to look
for
at your
creepy
world.
ones.
Yeah, all the
It's too
gothic
ugly.
horror that I put into
Yep,
it.
and here
anyway.
comes the bullying.
It is
We
very.
were bullying him, not you.
Yeah.
It's different.
That's true.
It's technological in nature.
I was more asking
It's what?
why you're-
The safe is technological in nature, not
So the lock
magical.
is magnetic or some kind of okay.
Yeah.
So is this safe like a small safe, or is it like built into the wall kind of safe?
Yeah, kind of built into a wall, but instead of a painting being over it, it's the entire bookshelf.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Do I like feel anything, any like grooves that are like maybe is like a keyhole or maybe like a slightly raised surface for like a key card or anything like that?
You feel 5 little dots that fingers could grip into.
Okay, I do. I put my fingers into the holes.
Okay.
Foolish. Make a dexterity save.
No.
Foolish, you lose all your fingers.
As you mess with the knob a little bit, you can tell that it gives both in the left and right direction. Which way would you like to turn it?
face left or face right.
The left direction.
Can you roll a Constitution save for me?
Fuck. Okay.
Hey.
Called it.
I should have tested out my dice beforehand.
Where are my dice?
Oh, while he's doing that, I'm gonna ritual cast alarm and cover the room.
5.
5. So you notice how it goes to the left a little bit, but then a jolting shock of electricity zaps through you, and you take 3 damage.
Taints the blind.
But as this happens, so since you cast that, no alarm goes off, and
Oh no, alarm the way alarm works is I set up a perimeter, and anytime someone enters that perimeter, if I'm within a mile radius, an alarm will go off in my head and I'll know someone entered the room.
okay, well then I guess
It's an alarm before.
I'm gonna clock it to the right then, since
Okay.
the left didn't seem to work.
so. You clocked it to the right, and then it can go back to the left or further right.
Harry
Back to
dies.
the left.
Hope Harry
Yep.
dies on this
It-
puzzle.
After that, you hear a and the safe door opens, and
You did it.
You had a
Two
25.
options.
So smart.
You had a 20. There were like 4 options. There are 4 options.
Let
Harry.
me have this. I suck at puzzles in Dungeons and Dragons.
That wasn't
Let
a
me
puzzle,
have
that was
this.
luck.
That was
based.
just luck. That was pure luck.
so whenever you open it, you see this book. It seems to be more of a diary than an actual published work of, like a story, like a published story. It's more of a
Read it.
Okay. Oh well, that's.
I can't read.
Well, you would feel a book,
No.
and it's more. It's laced with leather. It feels more handmade.
It feels more like a notebook
Yeah,
than
more
an
like a
actual,
notebook than an
yeah,
actual
hardcover.
book.
Luckily, it's written in Braille.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's not written in braille. You can't tell what it's written.
Braille hasn't been invented yet.
I'm just gonna walk over to Whitney and hand over the book.
Would I be
found
done with alarm by
something.
now?
Yeah, you'd be done with alarm by now.
Okay.
The spirit showed me where this was.
By spirits, like
I'll take the book and I'll look at everyone and I'm like, we need to blip real quick. We have something we need to talk about.
We're kicking Ari out of the party.
So this is the first time you're blipping?
Technically second, but it's the
Oh,
first
yeah.
first time that we're taking the viewers into the office.
The
So
official.
everyone blips in, and the first thing that you're greeted to is Ethan's character,
boom.
who's chilling out in the labs section with Corellia. And if you wouldn't mind describing your character.
Okay, so I'm a centaur barbarian. His name's Solp. I was thinking of names and that popped in my mind. So he's sort of on the horse part. He's got like a black coat of fur, kind of like white near like the hooves, and for his like actual outfit, he has for his hat he has like a black bowler hat with like a red feather, and then he has a sort of, like the sort of like fancy like long shirt, like button up shirt, like the white one that like, yeah, he has one of those, the sort of like the poofiness around like the neck and like front of the chest, and then he has like a gold rimmed black vest. And yeah, sort of like brown red leather belt fitted around his waist with a sort of like small, not a cloak that isn't super long, but like long enough to kind of cover over the upper parts of his arm, and it's black on the outside and then red on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he has a poofy mustache.
So for the listeners, the astral office that they have is divided into 3 main quarters. There's the main office and living room area where their evidence board is, some drawers, then mostly detective stuff. Then there's a lab where they can do kind of some forensic work and look into more specific things on the body or other evidence. And then the third room is Terry's armory, which is their kind of keeper. He makes potions for them, gives them weapons, a little bit of a merchant, and he's a time demon that resides in this plane.
Matthew, what's your character's name again?
Don't we also have an interrogation room?
Yeah, that's in the bottom corner of
Okay.
this space, of the living room area.
Okay.
It's always nice returning here.
Yeah.
I can't hear the spirits when I'm in here. Makes me kind of sad.
Can you two, and I point over at, oh damn it, Ari and Biff, could you two step into the interrogation room for a couple seconds?
Well, yes, I shall interrogate Ari.
I'll put on a pot of tea. Come along, Biff.
Figure out what these spirits they speak of are.
And then I'm going to turn to the other two. So come over here and listen in, because it'll be...
Yes.
You weren't there for the conversation, but I think Ivan may have bugged the other two. Because, well, I think it's a little interesting how after I said everything smells like his cologne, he comes back and says that his cologne is missing. While it was prompt, it was very specific, and it didn't seem like he was telling much of a truth. So either A, he was in the room with us, or B, he bugged the two that he shook hands with.
He may have also used, because you say the perfume was like all around within the room.
It was on all of the key items.
It was on
In the
everything.
body. In the body.
He may have used his maybe he used his cologne to cover up some smell of something else. Oh well.
We know that whoever got in there was heard as well, dropping from above onto the balcony. But they weren't heard leaving.
That's because they dropped to the ground below. No one on the second floor would have heard it. They came from above and then left going out the balcony the same way it went down.
Did Biff tell us what he found above, or has he yet to do that?
Well, the workers had never arrived
Yeah.
that I asked for.
I'm just asking, is Biff really the information?
Probably not. No.
Because, yeah, you did talk to the general.
Yeah, I talked to the general and then requested that the guards go find the people who worked there the night of the murder.
We need to investigate the rooms above it, at the very least, eventually.
I want to figure out how we can debug the rest of our party before we continue on, so that way any major stuff doesn't get leaked out, like the book that we just found.
That is very true. Perhaps we can do some detect magic upon them.
Could I walk over to the door, or like is it like a one-way window sort of deal? Okay. This is gonna take a bit. Does one of you want to go through the book while I cast detect magic?
I would be glad to.
Okay. I hand the book over to Ari, and then I'm gonna start ritual casting detect magic.
Yes.
Okay. So, as this is happening, Terry is going to come out of his office and present to you 2 potions.
Why, hello. This is a potion I've been working on, and it allows you to go back to a specific point of relevance in this case that you're working on.
And he gives you 2 of them.
Feel free to use them whenever. I'll be going now.
And he just gives you the potions and then walks away and does his own thing. And you're going to read...
And then me and Solp start reading.
Yeah,
together.
I'm gonna help him read.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first thing that you're going to notice is that this is not Corellia's diary. This is Ivan's.
I think. What book did you hand to us?
I don't know. I never looked at it.
It was the book you...
I
I handed
Yeah.
that book. I'm not handing you guys the Kill Vampire.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so...
It's that diary.
So you open it up. There's not really a table of contents, more a specific set of dates. And there's no super recent dates. It seems as though the book hasn't been touched in quite a while. But one thing that you can tell is that there is a friendship type, I don't want to say love interest, but sort of that, section of it about him and his struggles is what you'd assume.
Yeah.
What?
Right?
No, I'm confused. There's a friendship section about his
Yeah.
struggles.
With his friends is
Okay.
what you could assume, but he hasn't looked at it yet. And that one catches your eye, and there's a few more that catch your eye about him practicing very powerful dark magic, and a section about wanting to overthrow a vampire lord. It doesn't say which one on the outside text.
Interesting.
This further solidifies the fact.
Definitely puts more of a target on him. Which should we dig deeper into first, do you think?
Yeah, because there's the possibility someone else may have gone after the currently dead vampire lord, but he was on the way to go after a different one.
Or it could be a group effort.
Perhaps.
Definitely want to look into these a little bit further.
Let's go find.
We
Finding
haven't dug into these. We're basically just skimming, finding anything.
Mm-hmm. And those would have been the 3 main sections of note.
Yeah.
Do we want to read deeper in any of them, or we have time? We're going to be waiting for the spell to go off. So.
Real quickly, hey Derek, how do your... So you put a gecko on Quen. How would that work? Like, if they're starting to have a conversation of note, you just kind of listen in, or
No, I have to be within 100 feet to go into it. So
Okay.
I have no clue. The gecko's just sort of there.
okay.
That goes there. In
All right.
case.
I didn't know if I was needing to
Yeah.
have like a external
No.
dialogue thing. Okay. So yeah, back to you, Matthew.
I think the things that most are of interest are the friendship struggles
And the
and
dark magic.
and the vampire. All of them are interesting.
I would say we read over the sort of friendships, because this perhaps might be a group effort,
Yes.
and we can look over the other two another time
Yes.
or after this.
So we look into the friendship struggles.
So the cliff notes of it is that all of the Vampire Lord's children were raised as friends. Ivan was close friends with Corvin and Quen. As time went on, Corvin and Quen developed a relationship more than friends. Ivan cared for Quen. She didn't feel the same, and that's kind of what happened there. And after that, he pushed himself away, and he didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone, any of the Vampire Lord's children. And he resorted to spending more time with his mother and helping her rule, and she was training him to rule in her stead if something were to ever happen to her.
Sounds like to me he would want to kill her. He seemed to really like her, so why kill the person he really liked when it could have been
That's
two rulers with the same ideas?
That's back to my point where he may have been after a different one rather than the currently dead
He
one.
had plans, but he was too late. Someone got to it first and ruined them a bit for him.
Were all when the murder happened with the were they all kind of near each other?
The
All
vampire
lords, yeah.
So the Vampire Lords are tucked away in a vault, but the children were all around the manor and in their respective sections of the manor. It happened shortly after a political debate. So after that, not many people would probably go directly to Corellia because all of the things that needed to be discussed were discussed. But Ivan did make his way back to his mother's room, which, like the guards said, wasn't unusual.
Where was the body when it was found, though?
In the library, off
In her room.
in her room.
Okay.
She had kind of a study, and it was in the library study area.
And the murder weapon was a god-killing knife of... It was
Of the
Markov,
red one, or
right?
whatever.
Markov's.
Yeah, Markov.
It's getting interesting, I'll say that. Should we read it?
How is the spell going on?
It would be after reading this, because it was a pretty lengthy dialogue to get all of that information out.
Yeah.
You would probably be just about done, and so we'll do you, and then we'll go to them. So, what was it you were trying to do exactly?
I was casting detect magic to see if they had any magic on them that would indicate a bug or something.
So, they have residue, and could you roll an insight check for me?
I'd give guidance, but I'm preoccupied.
You said insight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. Oh, well, that's a 17.
From your knowledge and your education and everything, it would seem to suggest that the bug was planted in the room rather than on a specific person.
Okay.
At least in this case. You don't know about the other Vampire Lord's children, but there's definitely a bug in the room.
Okay. I'm gonna turn on the light on our side, so that way it becomes a two-way window, and I'm gonna point to usher them out of the room.
Okay. Is there anything that you two have idea-wise before we get back to them and reading?
After like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going, after I make my pot of tea, I'm going to cast Augury. And how Ari uses Augury is she takes out tarot cards and does a 3-card spread.
Okay.
As she does this, Biff sits...
How the fuck you see your cards?
Huh?
Are they Braille? Okay.
No.
Braille isn't invented yet.
As Ari does this, Biff sits on the other opposite side of the table and pulls out his tarot cards and plays solitaire.
You have tarot cards?
Yes, but they're but it's like tarot cards, but it's only the certain amount of faces to equal a deck of cards, so we can
Okay.
play solitaire.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just imagining,
Go ahead.
Like, Wari's tarot cards don't even have any drawings because they.
But isn't that
really
cheating?
exactly-
'Cause you
They
pick up the
do,
card.
but I mean they're like rough, so you can like feel the texture of the
Isn't it
image
cheating
that's
though?
on
Because
it.
when you go to shuffle the deck, you already know what's on.
The backs of the cards
Is-
aren't rough.
Is there a specific time? What are you looking for whenever you do these tarot cards?
They're wanting to know like they're wanting to know if the murderer is someone that the party has spoken with.
Can you roll a perception check?
Okay.
Disadvantage your blind.
Shut up.
No, it'd be perception.
Technically, I have blindsight, so
Yeah.
not
You
Through the,
mentioned it. Now we really are gonna.
That's not how augury works.
Augury works by you say you want to do a specific course of actions within the next 30 minutes, and then the DM tells you whether or not it's wheel, woe, or wheel and woe. For good results, bad results, or for good
Mix
and
of
bad
both.
results.
oh,
there's also nothing for
okay.
What
so
you're wanting to do
For
would be
things that
more
aren't
like
good or bad.
clairvoyance, I think, or commune. Commune. I think
Commune is
what it
asking a god for stuff.
But
Yeah.
that's more akin to what you're
Yeah.
wanting to do. But instead of God, it would be like the card gives the answer type of thing.
Okay,
Or the
well,
spirits.
Yeah.
So it's will, woe for yes. And
It's wheel for good, it's woe for bad. It's wheel, woe for there's bad and good, and there's nothing for if nothing.
And it's like you have to say, "I'm going to do this."
clairvoyance doesn't do anything like that.
Yeah, I was wrong. It was commune.
Yeah, and I'm not high enough level for a commune.
Okay, so if you do that, you still want to.
Yeah.
It would be what was bad.
Whoa.
It's bad.
So you asked if you
Whoa.
talked to any. If you have talked
How
to the
about
murderer.
how about this? I'll rephrase my question so it's a little less uncertain. Are all the people that we have talked to safe?
That's not.
It's still
okay.
not it. It's a course of action that you're going to do within the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, no.
You
So
ask whether or not it's going to be good or bad for the course of action that you're going to take.
Okay.
If we killed a vampire lord, would that be bad?
and then does it? yeah, I.
If we
Oh, no.
solve the case, will it be good?
All right. So
Like,
I
we
don't
saw-
really
we
want to
did
do the
nothing,
spell
we solved the
anymore
case.
because it really doesn't.
okay. Well, if you think of something, let me know. We'll go back to
It's kind of
well,
stupid. I wish
Matthew
the spell worked differently.
and Ethan as they read through Ivan's diary.
Speed read.
We finished reading the first section. They are basically all leaving now. I think we probably relay what little we learned so
They
far, right?
they're not leaving. They're doing their own things.
They're coming out.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're all regrouping.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, we're all regrouping.
Yep. Go ahead.
So, we have read a bit of the diary, and it's not that of Corellia. It is that of Ivan. He seems to be having some troubles with some of his friend group. Talks of some dark magic, and he wants to overthrow a vampire lord.
Which we read more in depth with like the sort of like struggles with his friendships, and we kind of found out that Soren and Quinn or whatever,
Corvid and Quinn.
Corbin.
it's an S.
No, I changed it.
Are you kidding me? I hate you. Okay, well, Cor and Quinn were, or I think, I haven't had like feelings for Quinn, but Cor and Quinn got together, and he was angry with it, and like so he kind of didn't want to have any more relationships with anyone. But then after this, he kind of sort of hung out with his mother more often, and traded under her, which would be kind of confusing if he actually did kill his mother.
Which is why I proposed the idea. Why not make a power play? Take another vampire lord out. That is 2 Dermo leaders. That would be more power for that family.
Which we also had the thing where like we had the idea of he may have gone for a different vampire lord before this, but someone else eventually got to
He was making
Corellia
plans
first.
to kill another, but this happened before he was able to enact his whatever plan he had.
What's the date on the section that talks about his plans for killing the vampire lord?
There
They
were no
haven't read it
dates.
yet. They
It's-
haven't read Killing
Well,
the Vampire Lord yet.
You said that there was dates
Oh.
with the titles. So
Yeah,
they
so
would've
about
seen the
500 years ago, which would be during Corvin's rule.
You mean?
No, this is a 500-year meeting for his mother's rule.
Okay.
So it would
date.
be
I thought we were 250.
every 250 is a
Is
meeting.
a meeting.
And I thought I said 500 because
Okay,
we're in the
so
middle
then
of
I
a
had-
rule.
I had the
So
times
500 years ago, it would have been Corvin's ending rule. Or sorry, it would have been Cassius's ending rule and Corellia's beginning rule. There's no real specific date. You'll notice that on most of their stuff, they don't date it because the months are irrelevant because they live for so long. So it's years that are marked as important or not.
So this was done during the passing over of power from Cassius to Corellia. Is when this one was written. We can look into the other 2 important entries, but wanted to relay that.
What's the? Is that like the last entry, or?
Yes, that is the very last entry in this diary.
This is one of the last entries. So he
Why
has-
does? Why does? Why does his mom have his diary?
Yeah, we don't know how you got the book, so.
Well,
Yeah, we still.
we were. We found it in her room. Why is his diary in her room?
That room seems to be a very important focal point for hidden things.
Well, I mean,
That's one-
even still, why is? Like it.
Perhaps she caught on to the want to overthrow a vampire lord of the dark magic and took it from him. Maybe he did get angry over the last 500 years.
Perhaps she found it and put it in there, and then they
Like
talked about it that night.
Something to perhaps.
Well, the last date was 500 years ago, which means that it was probably. She would have had to found it sometime close to then. So then it's been 500 years that she would have had this diary.
Ari, was it dusty when you took it? Was the safe inside of the safe dusty?
Yeah, it was dusty. It hadn't really been touched in a long
Did it
time.
have 500 years worth of dust in it?
They haven't washed their hands, so they just hold up their fingertips and it has a thick layer of dust on them.
Also, your
That's
tarot cards are all
perhaps-
covered in dust.
Yeah.
That's perhaps something to ask him if we decide to interrogate him.
This is the DM telling you. You could hold onto the book and drink a potion. Standing in a room.
I thought. Okay.
Standing in a room, holding an object that you think has evidential value to the case will bring you back to a point of relevance. But I
Oh.
wouldn't just, go slinging them around because something you think might have importance may not, and then you'll get no results.
Perhaps we could use this potion and with this dagger. I think that would probably help.
Terry looks out from his thing and he's like, yes. And then he goes back, and he's more like a voidless form of gas, except his hands are solid. So
kind of resembles Zadorus a bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Who?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, Zadorus.
Okay.
Did you find what you were looking for, though?
Yeah, it seems that the bug's in the room, so whenever we're not in the office, don't talk about any theories about what might be going on, especially if it's about Ivan, because it's his bugs.
Very well.
I think we should do the dagger idea to see if we can get some kind of information. Because we could figure out who stole the dagger originally from the
From House
Makarov, from who stole the dagger from Makarov, or we might get lucky and see the murder itself. But the problem is that we don't know where the dagger was stolen, which would give us reason to go talk to Makarov, Makarov's person, Korvax, or whatever his name is. Cassius.
You would also remember that Quinn invited you to a ball.
Yeah.
Not.
But that's in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you don't forget. So is that what you all do? You want to use it on the dagger, or
Do we want to wait, or do we want to do it now?
you do have 2 of them? So
We have 2 potions, and I do want to use one in that room to see if... I don't know. But I think we might get more information if we figure out where the dagger was stolen and then take the dagger to where it was stolen and then pop a potion for at least one of them. And then we can just pop the other potion in the actual murder room and see if we get anything.
Seems to be the task the Makarov descendants. How long it's been missing?
Is Terry making more?
he makes potions daily. He's probably in there working. You can go talk to him if you want. But I would suggest everybody be together for this if you're gonna use one.
Ah, I found a spell that fits my needs. It's
Well,
called divination.
Do you want to use it real quick before they pop the potion?
Yes, I would.
Is it
So I
just-
don't waste my card lane.
We can go back in time and say
Yeah,
that's
it's just
when
a
we
little-
used it.
Okay.
What level caster are you?
For cleric, I'm a 7th level cleric.
Okay.
I'm not breaking the rules, Derek. It's okay.
Well, I couldn't remember if divination was a 4th or a 5th level, but
Yeah.
because I knew it was a higher level.
I laid them down. And this does say I'm specifically contacting my god and asking for guidance on. So, what was my original question? It was like, oh, have we spoken to the murderer yet?
You would hear a deep bellowing voice say no.
Out of all the people we've spoken to. Interesting. None of you will believe me, though. I'll be like, the spirits. You'll be like,
Hey, tell us. And that's what I was thinking.
although then again, they could be just saying, like, you haven't. Whatever. Cool.
You said
That is true.
But I wish the spell just lied. Just to fuck you.
Have we talked to the murderer? IDK.
IDK.
Figure it out yourself.
Which murder? There's like billions. I'm a god. What are you talking about?
it just says deep. booty
You're
voice.
screwed.
These nuts.
Yeah.
And you fold a card over and it just says, got him.
What are?
I'm done with
Come
my.
on.
I'm done with my tarot
Okay.
spread. I'm
mean, do you-
picking up my cards and walking
Do
away.
you tell that to us, or
You guys won't believe me.
I mean, we're
We're
detectiving.
detective agents.
Why
It'll
would we
come
not
up.
believe
It'll
you?
come. It'll come. It'll come up.
Oh, so it's
It'll
gonna
come
be
up.
like you telling us your real
Yes.
name.
We're
Or we're track down Ivan, who the spirits literally just told us isn't the killer, and we're gonna run down this rabbit hole and spend several episodes doing so.
I'm not saying I'm going to keep this for multiple sessions. I'm literally just taking a second to let it sink in.
Okay, so
No.
then, hang on. Are you
Let
going to
that
allow
sink
them
in.
to
Open
use
the
the
door and
potion
let the
before you
sink
tell
in.
them? Because they're about to use the Okay, so then you should tell them now because they're about to use the potion.
Okay.
Harry.
Perhaps we should drink
You're
this
letting
potion.
it sink in to all the people who totally heard this.
As detectives, we like to keep secrets from each other for detective reasons.
I'm
Oh,
kind of
hey.
tempted to let you guys
Oh, hey.
waste your time if this is
Here's
your
this-
attitude.
Here's
Fine,
this
we will. And it'll be
blind-
on your head. I'm
God.
gonna go to
Okay.
the other room and drink the potion.
We get
No!
soft
I go back to the murder room and drink the potion.
Wait, we don't get
So
to see
you're-
this.
Stop us.
So
Apparently
you're
not.
Well, they
'cause
know that I'm
Derek's
going
gonna go.
Okay,
go, I
so
guess.
you drink this potion and just black. Then all of a sudden you awake and you're this voidless form and it's very blurry and wispy, but you can clearly see Corellia in her room, not her room, sorry, in her study, writing the letter that that Zaloris found. And down comes the general that you talked to from the thing,
Yeah,
from the
balcony.
thing, with Makarov's dagger. You hear this echoey voice, "Here, my queen," and she delivers the Makarov's dagger to Corellia. Then the door opens and you hear the guard that came in, "Is everything all right?" And then Corellia pushes him away, saying, yes, everything's fine. And your vision sort of blacks out. And then you reawake in what seems to be before that, because Ivan is in the room. It's very, very echoey. It seems like the potion's starting to wear off, but you can hear Ivan pleading with his mother to not do something. He wishes to help her and not have all the responsibilities rest on her shoulders alone. And then finally you black out and then you reawake in the present time in her room.
I assume we all went with him.
He just said he did.
Oh,
I
well,
said I went over.
Oh, you
before
did? Okay.
yeah.
So then you did it
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So then
I
you would have
would've
seen.
gone- We all would have gone.
Don't
except
worry,
for-
I'm not gonna pull a Harry. I'm gonna tell you what I saw.
Okay. Well, even still, it
I am
seems
gonna. I
like-
was
I
gonna
know,
about to
I'm
tell
joking.
you.
Even still, it seems as though
Jeez.
everybody was there. Everybody saw what Derek saw.
Okay, cool.
And
Except for Ari.
yes, except for Ari, because
It doesn't
they're
matter.
I do our little symbol to tell us to all blink. I guess this is our symbol, just the two fingers crossed together. And then we blink. Ah, so it was a suicide. We haven't talked to her. And
He hasn't told us that part yet.
oh yeah,
Metagaming!
No, the DM's gonna strike me down. No.
Lightning.
I'm going to come up to Whitney and just I'm assuming you're kind of dazed right now, so I'm just gonna tug on your sleeve, and
The spirits told me that we haven't spoken to the murderer yet.
Ah, I don't believe you. You must be lying.
Insight check.
and I
angels.
I'm going to take out from my tarot deck the 3-card spread, and it's going to have. I'm going completely off Taraka because I'm not very familiar with actual tarot cards.
Pull tarot cards.
The one with the pentagram, and there's one with some anchors. There's a lot of different anchors.
One of them says.
Are you
no,
sure this one with the
didn't
lady with
he?
breasts?
Hang on.
Is it that one? There's also the fool.
We can't read
Harry.
it. It's only braille.
Harry, the joke is you're the fool.
I get the joke.
Or are you waiting?
So you're saying that we haven't, your spirits say that we haven't talked to the person that killed her?
No.
And I'd hold up the Innocence, the Lord card, and the card of Libra, the Justice, the Scales of Fate.
And what was Have any of us talked to the general?
He has.
Well,
Yeah.
I was asking the group.
Yes. She's a lovely lady.
Okay, so you've talked to the general.
But I guess she's
Who
also
have
a
we
thief.
not talked to yet? We've talked to.
We have,
Normal workers.
yes, I went
Well,
upstairs.
there's definitely head honchos that we haven't talked to yet.
We haven't technically spoken to the other vampires.
Yeah,
But
we did.
know that it would have caused a very loud noise.
We talked. Haven't we talked to all the main leaders
We
because
talked
they all
You
walked?
talked
We
to.
talked to their kids.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked. Okay, yeah, I get
Okay.
what you're saying.
So we've talked to Ivan. We've talked to both church heads, right?
Yes.
We've talked to Quinn.
Talked to the guards and the carriage
I
driver.
will point out that we might have seen some people, but we might have not actually talked to them.
Well, yeah.
The spirits are sometimes very literal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which of the people that we've seen that we haven't talked to.
You haven't really had a conversation with Lazarus.
But we did exchange.
You saw him.
words.
You exchanged words, yeah. But I was just saying that.
So are you saying that? Are you saying? Because exchanging words is speaking, but you're saying that it didn't count.
You didn't really have a conversation with him like you did with Corvin.
Well, yeah,
and-
but we still talked.
Okay, then yeah, you talked then.
We exchanged words with Lazarus. What's the Corvin?
Corvin, Makarov, Lazarus, Devi, Quinn Devi, and Katalana Makarov.
I don't think we talked to Katlani yet.
You did. She is the one that said that her brother Corvin is very mistrusting, and then Quinn talked to you in your head, saying that you shouldn't trust what she says. Do you remember that?
I remember.
You remember that encounter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she said, "Don't trust Corvin,"
She said, "Don't trust Catalana."
and Lazarus said, "Don't trust Catalana."
No, that was Quinn.
Quinn said, "Don't trust."
Yeah,
her.
to you in your head. Because it seemed as though Corvin came in. He was kind of a hothead, as you know, asking for his dagger and everything. And then he stormed off pretty quickly. And after that, Katlana said, "My brother's kind of, he's very arrogant. But if you need any help from House Makarov, I'll be willing to help." And Quinn said that she's full of it.
I was actually right about the different cards.
Congratulations, you have memory.
Exactly.
So what's our next step? We have quite a few people off of our
Suspect.
suspects, yes.
What was
I
the...
still
But I
think-
I think we should look at the body first.
Yes,
and I
but
think we should still interrogate Ivan.
the
There's too much in there.
Well, we
spirit.
should interrogate Ivan last once we have him cornered. We don't necessarily have him cornered at this point since the spirits say that Ivan didn't do it.
What exact question did you ask the spirits?
I asked them if we had ever spoken to anybody that was a murderer.
Anybody who was murdered?
Wait, those people have murdered people before.
No, I mean like
The
the
yeah,
murderer.
okay,
if
the
we've spoken
murderer,
to
yeah.
the murderer, sorry.
Well,
What was the name
If-
of the guard that gave the knife?
The general?
Yeah, the general.
I can't find it in my notes. What did I say her name was? Because I told it to you.
Carrie.
Carrie, yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, we know they weren't the killer. But
Yes, that's
it
what I
has
was.
still been a group effort.
Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Well, here's the problem: is that we all just saw that she got the dagger.
We definitely need to investigate that.
I.e., that's why I want to go to the body. She said that she had she had a shocked look on her face, as if like she was surprised that she was being stabbed. Yet she had the dagger, which means that there's somehow someone had to get the dagger from her. And I can't think of too many people that are strong enough to fight a
Vampire
Lord while also making it look like there was no fight at all.
Perhaps it really was one of the sleeping lords.
Perhaps it is that she fell forward.
I mean,
And just hit the knife.
But she was on her back.
Backflip.
She rolled him. I don't know.
Maybe she
And
just.
if it was one of the other vampire lords, then they would have. The sirens would have tripped.
Well, yes.
Maybe
Unless
she was making
there's been
love and
sabotage.
then she fell on the knife.
With the knife?
that's some kinky shit.
Bruh.
She was. And another thing to point out, she had this in her library, and I pull up the How to Kill a Vampire book. It describes how to kill a vampire lord.
Who saw? I think it's Lazarus or one of the liches who pulled that book out of the bookshelf.
That was the archbishop in the cathedral, and that would have been most of you who saw that.
I didn't see
He-
it. I was casting a spell.
Okay.
Whoever
I remember I saw
you
it.
saw it because you can speak Infernal, and
Yeah.
you clearly saw
Oh
the
yeah,
title.
I couldn't even. Yeah, so it'd just be him.
Yep, they
But
both.
you saw the book, so you
Yeah,
would
but
be
I,
able to.
I didn't read. I can't read.
But
in
you
front.
would, if it was an identical
Oh,
copy,
okay.
you'd be able to recognize the book.
I just look at.
Okay.
That's the same book that the
The bishop
Archbishop.
was reading that. He brought that with him.
Is this an identical copy, or
Does it look identical?
You were too far away to tell exactly, but the title is the same.
It's the same title.
I don't think it would be because the bishop was with us the whole time. We were the first ones into the room. There's no way the bishop would have gotten it into the room, which means this is a second copy of the
And
same book.
remember that book fell off the bookshelf.
Well, I walked over, touched it, and
Yeah.
then it flew off the bookshelf.
Yeah. And you'll also remember that the archbishop never actually went up to that room. He had Serena go in with you.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Was that we were the first ones in the room, so there's no way he could have planted the book, which means that there's multiple copies of this book floating around in circulation.
Interesting.
But we know it's.
Slowly gets more interesting.
I mean, at this point, it looks like it will. I don't know. Why would. Everything smelled like Ivan, but the last person in the room wasn't Ivan. Unless he did ransack the room looking for the.
Seems like a strange tactic to spray someone's perfume all over a room, but it seems to be the most likely scenario that he was being framed.
And
We definitely need to ask if he really
Except
is
for the part where he
suspected.
lied about him missing his cologne.
True.
It could.
We
Except for the
definitely.
cologne part with the knife. Maybe Corellia and Ivan were both planning on killing another vampire lord.
But then why would she end up dead?
Failed attempt. I don't know.
But why would the sirens would have had to gone off if they pulled the vampire lords up?
Yeah.
Unless
Our-
there's some way to deactivate this.
Our number one priority needs to be to talk to people that we haven't spoken to yet, like Lazarus.
We're just figuring out more of the scenario and everything.
And you'll remember that Quinn said that the sirens always go off whenever a vampire lord is pulled out from the ground. So,
We definitely should eventually investigate this Carrie.
I look at my notes.
General Carrie. She's the one who delivered the knife.
Why don't we? No, we need to go together.
We could ask if there's a way to deactivate the alarms. Maybe there is. And if so, who knows how to do that?
It would be the vampire lords.
Well, not
Within-
just them. Most likely, right? Maybe some of their children?
Might even be the deceased and Ivan, the ones who would have the most power in this specific place of work.
We should probably ask who the vampire lords' caretakers are while they sleep, besides the children.
My theory.
Well, there are no caretakers because the vampire lords stay hidden until their time of reason, which
The
means they
caretaker
don't get.
was the awake vampire lord, if anything.
Yeah, but even then, they wouldn't pull the vampire lords out.
My theory is...
How strange. Usually dead people have undertakers to oil them.
Oil. Anyways, my theory is that the victim had planned to murder one of the lords and set this all up and deactivated the alarm, but then she failed and they fought back.
But then they put themselves back into the coma?
To avoid suspicion.
Well, that would just make them more suspicious, because if they're trying to fake that they were woken up, then why put
I
themselves
guess there's
back
no
into-
reason to put yourself back in. You can just claim self-defense since it was self-defense.
Since it was
They don't-
self-defense. Because
Okay,
it's not like
scratch that
they can't
theory.
wake themselves up.
No, they cannot.
Only the children know how to wake them up.
And yeah,
And the one in charge.
I think we need to... I want to get Quinn and Corvin in the same room and let them sit there for a bit, listen in onto their conversation, and then talk to them about where the dagger may have been stolen and such. And then we need to go talk to the...
General Carey.
Yeah, General Carey, and then we also have to go to the location where the dagger was stolen with the dagger to try and figure out, or drink the last potion for the day to figure out whatever else we can.
you hear from Terry's room,
I'll make you more.
and
Thank you, Terry.
He's like barfing into a potion. He's barfing into these vials for us. That's the potion.
Just causes you like
He's
mass
gotta get it.
nausea.
You gotta eat enough.
Makes you so nauseous.
So-
you've seen it in the past.
Okay,
What's-
so let's go find Quinn and Corvin. They're probably together.
you didn't finish reading that book, the journal, right?
No.
Okay.
We were
We should
We also-
finish reading this journal.
We also haven't read the How to Kill the Vampire book. It could be like a
Do we have it?
thing that people
Yes.
store
Read
stuff
about
in
it.
instead of an actual book.
We've opened it.
Oh,
It flipped open to a page, which was the specific page. on
oh
it.
yeah, I remember now. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go get Quinn and Corvin into the same room. You guys continue reading the book and trying to figure out anything else about Ivan.
All right.
So, tell me whenever you teleport back. And then,
We'll join you in a minute.
I mean, we'd probably go back now.
as soon as you said 100 feet,
Yeah. Within 100 feet, I can do it, but
so then I guess you'd get pinged, right? Would you get pinged if you
I-
were within 100 feet, or
it would be up to you whether or not I knew if it was in 100 feet or not.
we'll say that you get a little alert,
Okay.
and it seems like Quinn and them are having a conversation.
Okay. Then I'm
And-
gonna listen in then.
Yeah, so you'll choose to listen in, and seems like they're talking about different things. There's a bunch of... Hang on, they're talking about different things. And you hear Makarov first say, seems like the detective bought our little skit. Probably assume I'm some idiotic hothead. We need to get guards into the blood farms as soon as possible so they don't get snooping around there. Also, make sure Ivan stays where he stays at the ball at all times. And then you hear Quinn, well, yes, of course. What about Lazarus and your sister? And Mac Corvin is like pondering a little bit, doesn't really know what to say. And then he's like, just make sure someone watches Katlana. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And Lazarus, I don't know. Some of the evidence with the purple robe, and I thought maybe it would be him, and then you hear Quinn, who's like, no, it wasn't him. We were together the entire night. And he's like, okay. And it seems like he's holding out on her, like he doesn't fully trust her. And she's kind of doing the same, but he does trust her enough to have someone guard the blood farms. And then the last thing he says that really catches your ear is, Ivan attacked the blood farms the other day, and we're pretty sure he took control of the first 2 levels, but he doesn't know about the third. We need to take it back before he figures it out. And then they start talking a little bit, but your gecko kind of tunes out because it's more, it's something that's not really related to the case, or
They begin talking about feelings.
not really feelings, just the ball and
What
what
are
they
you
should wear.
wearing?
Yeah, stuff like that.
What men talk about
Quinn's a
when they're
woman.
alone.
Okay. And then you'll kind of regain your presentness in the moment now, in the room, and that information. What does everybody do?
Who had the first two who did the thing with the first two levels of the blood farm? Was it Ivan?
Ivan's
Ivan.
taken 2 levels of the blood farm.
Taken. Okay.
It
But
doesn't
there's
know
a
about the
third one
third.
that's secret. Well,
So is the blood farm like a single location, or are there like several blood farms?
There are many, many different locations all throughout my world, and the thing that you'll know that Ivan's upset about is that Corvin owns the one in Dermo country. Dermo doesn't like that because Corvin's just racking up the price against the Dermos. So it's creating a little conflict, and
so it's the specific one in Dermo.
it's the specific one in Dermo. And it should be noted that
There's more than one.
there's more than one, but think of it like a massive, massive warehouse where this is where everything's manufactured, and then there's little warehouses
Yeah.
that it's distributed to. But you cut the head off the snake, then
Yeah.
so
While they're doing that, we are reading the journals.
which passage are you going to start with?
Let's keep going in order. Practicing dark magic.
Practicing dark magic. So he starts with small things at first, kind of the little child's play things that his mother once did in order to become a vampire. He was trying to become more powerful, and he started doing tests and trying to make a potion or some sort of elixir that would make vampires more powerful. Because his goal was to take out the Makarovs, because they were getting too powerful for their own good, and with that he thought that Quen only loved Corvin because of the power, and if he could become more powerful with his dark magic, then she would go to him. And it doesn't really say if he got any massive progress. It said that he was showing results on something that would make them more powerful, but not to the degree that he was desiring. And with his writing skills and everything, it seems like he's a very knowledgeable and smart individual.
I think we have a name on who we want to overthrow.
Which one? I was paying attention. I was writing notes.
He wants to take down the Makarovs. It would make sense he tried to
Because the Makarovs
kill
primarily
the
have,
Makarov leader.
because they have more stuff with
Too
the.
much power.
Yeah, they have more the blood farms too. Yeah.
Makes sense, given those families aren't exactly the best buds.
As the spirits always say, follow
You
the
guys
money.
are not here.
You guys are going.
You're gone.
Let us role play, Harry.
Wait, where did we go?
You're with Derek in the offices,
Oh, okay.
or in Krillia's room, I should say. And
Yeah.
do you wish to read the last
Yeah.
passage?
Let's get the last one.
The last passage is the last one that was written, and yes, he wanted to overthrow Cassius. But that would be difficult because of Corvin and his cunningness and how powerful he is, just as an individual. And, hang on. Corvin has the blood farms, and he. Hang on. Sorry. Let me restart.
It's fine.
Because I've got a few cliff notes here, and
Having a lot going
Yeah.
through your mind.
yeah.
It's good. It's
Okay.
alright.
So what did I just said that he.
He wanted to overthrow Makarov, and it
Yes.
was tough because of Corvin, and
Mhm.
Corvin has the blood farms.
Mm-hmm. He knows that Corvin controls a lot of Dermo land, even though he shouldn't. And he wants to pit the he wants to pit the Devi and the Makarovs against each other so he can take power.
Corvin wants to do
No.
that. Okay, Ivan.
Ivan wants to do this.
Just to pit other families against each other.
And that's how he plans on taking out Cassius, but it doesn't really mention Milena too much. He may not think she's a threat, or he's focusing on this. You don't fully know yet.
Mentions Milena. Okay.
So it's just one really tangled power play by the different parts.
Who's Milena?
Milena is the
Oh,
Devi.
yeah. I was looking and I was like, I can't find it, and I looked at it as I asked. Dumb.
Well, let's go join back with the others and tell them what we found.
Okay.
Okay. So you.
Camera swap.
Yep.
Oh, we-
While they were doing that, what were you guys? You were listening in on the conversation, or was that before you were?
Yeah, I would probably time-wise, I would have lived back and listened in, and then we were gonna head to them.
So then, it sounds like they meet you. You're all in Corellia's room, and you are free to discuss, do whatever.
Let's step out real quick. Get out of here. We need to go find people, and then we're gonna head to go find.
So
Quinn
me
and
and Biff
Corvin.
are always going to be exempt from these meetings.
I mean, you could come.
Sure.
The bug wasn't on you.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, the bug was on the room.
So, you.
Okay, I'll
Sir-
come with.
Would you mind rolling a luck check?
While this is going on, Harry Ryan get an inspiration die.
I rolled a 7.
Oh,
7?
yeah.
Okay. So you exit the offices and you're greeted by the two guards, Thomas and Malik, and they both nod at you, assuring you that they're still guarding the spot and they will still be guarding the spot until the murder is solved. And one of them does a similar thing to Serena does and puts a lock on it, like with magic. And you leave and you'll take a left or right down this hallway.
I don't mean to, like, you probably just haven't thought about it, but it's funny that they didn't question the random centaur in our party that didn't walk in
Oh
the door.
yeah, that's true.
Here now.
I forgot that he
Lord,
was there.
do I
How-
fit through the hallways?
No, I forgot you.
What? I
mean-
can't be in the house.
Okay, no, you can.
I gotta suck in my gut.
You're walking on your horse.
Okay, so let's do that real quick. So you all walk out. Thomas and Malik nod, okay? And then behind you comes this centaur, and they're just, what the fuck? Like,
It's our other associate.
like they're, okay, he was not in there before. And
Now I am.
He was unbreakable.
Ari just takes
Break,
the
I'm still doing
person
things.
the person that's speaking. Ari takes their hand. It's like, it's all right. It's just our friend Soap.
Okay, Malik takes his hand away, ushers them on their way, and then
Beast.
they put the lock back on it, and now left or right. You know that you came from the left.
Which way would be to the Makarov wing?
The right.
Then to the right.
Okay, you take a right. And you travel for probably 15 seconds until you reach a corner that turns left, kind of like a rectangle square thing, and you hear a conversation, and it sounds kind of like Corvin and Quinn from the middle room on your left, and it's kind of an indent, and there seems to be like a storage closet up here, and in the indent there's a pretty decent size door that opens up in but
I wanna. The gecko's still in range, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then, can I listen in to like go back and forth between me and the gecko to make sure it's the same people?
Yeah, so you go into your gecko mode, and it's very, very clear, the conversation. You can clearly hear what they're talking about. It's more about the ball and some of the politics, and Corvin wanting to be on good relations with some of the key Dermo officials and make sure that his relations with the Divi are as strong as ever, because it seems like he's planning a plot. He has a plot as well that he's trying to enact. But he's being pretty vague. Probably because this isn't his exact wing. This is just an area of the castle that's or the manor that's pretty secluded.
I'm gonna walk up and knock on the door.
Very quickly, the voices stop talking, and it's a little murmuring. It's like, who's that? Who knows? Does someone know we're in here? And finally, you hear Corvin, come in, please.
See a bunch of people and then
Yeah.
a giant centaur in the back.
How can I help you? As he looks up as the centaur grows from the doorway.
I had to crouch down to
Yeah,
get...
you had to sort of crouch down to get in. And
How tall are these door frames?
I mean, they're probably 7 feet.
Okay.
They're probably 6.5 feet.
You're
Okay,
having to,
so-
like, bend
How tall
your
am I?
torso.
Both
I
me,
thought you were so-
both me and the centaur have to like.
Oh yeah, just duck under and then just appear.
I just walk in between his legs.
Is there anything I can do to help you, officers? I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, we just had a few questions. We're trying to figure out the story of what might have happened.
All right.
Could you tell us about when your dagger went missing?
Yeah, that was really funny and strange at the same time. I was in my room, and then after the meeting, sorry, not after the meeting. I was in my room. I left to go to the political meeting on the night Corellia was murdered. I was there. I enjoyed myself. Nothing out of the ordinary. We talked, and we actually got some decent progress. Then I come back to my room, and it's not where I'd left it. So I'm searching the rest of my room, and I come up null. There's only a few people that have access to my room minus me, and that would be my sister. We share a room. Quen, and the armed guard of the Dermo.
Have we talked to his sister?
You've sort of talked to her. It was kind of a fleeting moment, kind of with Makarov. You haven't talked to them as much as you have Ivan or Quen.
But we have exchanged
spoken.
We've spoken
words.
to all of
Okay.
the children of the Lord.
Okay.
Yes.
All of the children of the
At least
Lord
once
talked
you
to
have had a interaction.
What about
You
this
have had
dude
a single
before
word.
this encounter?
You've
Yeah,
talked to
we've
Corvin.
talked to
Okay.
all of the Vampire Lord's children.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Also. We're hoping that maybe you could shed a little light on this.
And you give him the...
Yeah.
He looks at it, and he's very... He didn't really expect that Corellia would be writing a letter, and he reads it. He looks up and kind of is like, shutting down the blood farms, eh? She does not want me to shut down the blood farm. She wants me to shut down the specific blood farm I own in Dermo country, which I understand is against the law, but at the same time, wouldn't you agree it would be easier to rule with one foreman than two? It would be much simpler.
It's not really our job to be spokesmen about politics. It's
No.
simply our job to discover who the murderer is.
Exactly. You use logic. So, wouldn't it be easier if there's one person controlling all of them instead of multiple?
Well, either way,
Depends
there's
on your
already
point of
multiple
view.
controlling it.
What do you mean?
Your father and you. That's already made two.
My father's asleep, and he hasn't made a decision regarding ruling the Makarovs in almost 500 years. So,
Yeah. But I mean, it'll change once he comes back, won't it?
indeed, but I will not be calling the shots. I will give my respect. I will give my ruling privileges to my father, as is normal for most. For all
So you were
vampires.
saying one person at a time, not one person ever.
Exactly.
protecting his foreman while he's indisposed.
Precisely. And it is my job not to ruin anything while he is asleep.
Oh well. Oh. Well then, I mean, in the end, your father is still in control.
You see that he doesn't like what you just said. He's very...
I know. I want to roll an insight check.
Okay, yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Okay, that is...
Sure, I'll do the same too.
That is
Okay.
15.
15?
Triple threat.
Alright.
Don't worry about mine. It was ass.
27.
Jeez, okay.
I got a natural 18.
You can tell by his body language that he wants... He cares for his father, but he wants his father's power, and he knows that he's not going to be getting it anytime soon because of how he reacted, and he very hastily snaps back. Yes, but as of now, if I make a decree, you can consider it law in any land I own, including this one. It may be Dermo-controlled, but don't be... It may be Dermo-controlled, but don't be confused about who actually owns it.
Well, I mean, also, there's been rumors on the wind that Ivan now holds the blood farms in Dermoland, too.
Excuse... I don't know what you're talking about. What I do know is that he has implored me, same with his mother, to grant them access to this farm, which I've been more than happy to accommodate, but of course with a Makarov representative.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Nope, every blood farm in Dermo, Devi, and Makarov is safely controlled by my personnel. You have my guarantee.
I assume you told us what you overheard.
No, because
Okay.
we would have been in shot of Ivan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you guys just see me fucking fuck with this guy's
So we are unaware.
Oh well, if you say so. Yeah, okay.
Really seems these blood farms are a very touchy subject.
Indeed.
Well, yes, because the Dermo say that it's not for the good of the people, but they don't care. They just want more power, and they're jealous that I control it all.
It seems to be more of a concern of humaneness than anything else. At least from what we've discovered.
They're not humane, but I can assure you, killing gods, holy gods that is not humane either. Which is what every one of them did.
Well,
You're not...
they killed. Didn't they kill the holy gods all in order to? Because the holy gods wronged them.
Yes, they did.
It's not like they tortured the gods to death.
No, but it's the principle of the thing, you know?
You seem very reactive. Would you like a cup of tea?
No.
Nobody here likes tea.
Your tea is gross.
Because you're
That's
asking
true.
people that drink blood to drink tea.
At least, didn't you say like something about your vampires still eating
Yeah, but
like
it's more
normal food?
More normal food is in very exotic normal food, like wine and...
Exotic normal foods.
Yeah, you know, exotic normal foods.
Like papayas.
Specials.
Like you can just grind up grass and put it in hot water and tea.
Is there any other questions you would like to ask me?
That kind of hurt my soul a little bit.
Yeah. Is this where we could find you if we have any more questions that come up later
Like
on?
a blood
Or
chai
where else
tea.
could we find you?
You could find me in the manor, wandering, or you could find me in my wing of the manor. Probably would be the easiest. That's where most of the Makarovs reside anyways.
Okay. We'll probably see you at the ball.
Good, I can't wait. And he turns around and continues what he was doing.
know how to dance?
We will meet again.
Do you say that in character?
The dance or the meet again?
No, his thing.
Yes.
What kind of question is that? Of course I know how to dance. I'm a royal. You want to... Okay. Yeah, now go ahead.
We must know if he can dance. This American guy. That is 22.
Yeah, he knows how to dance.
He's telling the truth.
And he is a royal.
He's telling the truth.
Just 'cause
We
he's
will
royal doesn't
see.
mean he knows how to dance.
Most
Oh,
etiquette.
I said that out of character. Never mind. Oh, well.
Yeah, but I mean, never mind. Whatever. He knows how to
Let's
dance.
go.
All right. Oh, so could we have permission to go into your room to try and sniff out clues about who might have stolen the dagger?
We won't take anything out.
It's not taking anything out. It's seeing documents you have no right to see.
Well, you could go put them up. You could just tell us where the dagger was hidden and we can snoop around there rather than the rest of your
Give us
office.
access to a specific part.
Take as much time as you need.
After the ball, yes, you are more than welcome to examine my quarters.
All right. And then I guess I get up and walk
How far is his chambers from the ballroom?
You don't know. You've never been to the ballroom or the thing, and you don't have a detailed map of the whole manor. Just
I'm gonna go ask a random guard. Excuse me.
You don't see any guards whenever you go out. This is a pretty abandoned part of the manor.
What is it?
Just all of a sudden, their security just drops. All of a sudden.
No, this is on the other side of the manor where the murder did not happen, and it's kind of storage rooms. It's not really elegant rooms. That's what I was describing. There's a storage room whenever you go in, and then whenever you walk
I mean,
in.
still, there's a important official on this side of the manor.
Important official.
There's
that's
no
trying,
guards?
Trying to hide from people.
And he's more than capable of holding his own in a fight.
Except for the murderer
Okay,
that's
can I go
walking around
find?
and
Can I
killing
go try to
people.
find a guard, please?
Yeah, you can go find a guard.
We
Okay.
killed
You know of the guards that are guarding Corellia's room. They're not too far away. They're just on the other side. Or you could go and keep following the hallway down straight.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Do you all follow him, or do you want to split up?
Are we following?
I mean,
Someone should make sure he
did,
doesn't.
did you
get
tell
lost.
us what you were doing, or did you just walk away?
Just walked away. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll get back to you all in a second. And you find
You get kidnapped.
you find a few different guards who seem to be in this break room type room. This break room, and there's a few of them dressed in black leather, and they have all of them have the dermo mark on their left side of their neck, and they seem to be very well built and well kept, clean shaven, with white hair that's trimmed nicely, and they're enjoying like a lunch.
Excuse me.
Two of them keep eating, but the other two look up. Yes? What are you doing in this wing of the manor?
I just needed to find some of you because it seems that your numbers are rather thin around this part of the manor. How far is it from... Who's the dude's name we were talking to again? Corvin. How far is it from Corvin's room to the ballroom? If you were to give like a rough estimate.
I mean...
In feet, please.
Not the metric system at all.
We're American.
The ballroom in the manor is in the center of the castle, or center of the manor, and his is the west wing, which is on the opposite side, diagonally of the manor. So I'd say maybe 1,000 feet.
Damn it. Thank you. And I walk back.
You're welcome.
I like you tell me.
Okay.
Exactly. Super,
And,
super masculine voice. Fuck! And I walk away.
Now we're back with
Spirits.
Derek and his crew.
It's...
Let's blip real quick so we can actually have a conversation.
Okay. And you're there. Yeah, that's what.
It's like Jimmy Neutron things flying by as we go down the fucking tunnel, and there's like this fucking bat creature.
It's always a terrifying experience.
Okay, how I can't think of the freaking phrase.
Rip bozo.
How long will it be
Plus
until the
ratio
ball?
plus L plus Y touch grass.
About a day and a half at this point.
Okay. I think I have a solution
Did he
to.
go back?
Just talking to himself again.
No, I thought I'd walked
No.
back by now.
Oh,
You can
know,
blip.
he-
You just have to snap twice. And
Yeah,
you
well,
blip.
you walked away and we blipped,
Oh, okay.
so you came back to nothing.
So I mean, you could probably blip back. There's no.
If you think we blipped.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
you can
we
do
like
whatever
to-
you want. You could kick
We
through
like
this
to play
door
little
and
games with
find
the
two people
blind
making
guy and
love.
just run away.
Hot, sweaty love.
Kind of.
Okay, so you're all back. He blipped.
Cool.
In the main chamber of your office. Wait, I should just say the main office. Anyways.
Okay, now can I say my piece now that I'm actually in the same room?
Yes. Sorry, we have to do this by the books, man.
By the book. Hey, he
You're
doesn't write
running
it.
this
He doesn't
as
write the
written.
book.
I have a solution to a
That's the point.
possible issue that we have. While we're at the ball, I can place one of my spirits inside of the room, and while we're in the ball, I can sit in the corner and watch his room while he's tidying it up for our inspection. To see if he does anything weird.
That is a good idea. Make sure he doesn't hide anything.
I don't have any
No, not the color.
audio capabilities with my spirit, but I can see.
Hide the crayon box.
I mean, we could also just go snoop through his room right now with your ghost.
That's true. But I can't see anything through anything though. And I kind of want to see him get caught doing something very bad.
It might help us know where to
Besides,
look. It seems to put extra attention in, say, a specific drawer. It's good to know that
Exactly.
well, another point. He has 2 days to do this. He
That's
doesn't have to do
true.
it during the ball.
That is true. I can put one right now. If you want.
How long would it last?
It lasts up to an hour, but I have... Let me see how many spell slots I have for this. Exactly. Pulls up a really tattered looking scroll.
With the word Google on the top.
No, spirits. Oh, I only have 2 slots.
do you
so
just
that's,
have wait,
that's 2 hours worth of
do
arcane
you just
eye.
have like a Ouija board to access Google? Just like type in your search.
No, Ari's thing is tarot cards.
Hey Google.
It'll take so long. You're like, no, you're like typing really fast. You're like, just like moving all over.
The answers are what's typed out.
Yeah, you say you put your hands on the thing on the magnifier and you ask the question, then it goes to the different letters.
That would be.
Oh, you.
That would be a
Oh.
very
Ask the
fun
spirits a
magic.
question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't type out the
I
question
thought,
to
I
the
thought you had to
spirits.
type out the question on the.
No,
It's like a type-
no.
That'd be so weird. You're like doing it
I
really
really wanna
fast.
That just means good on you never doing a seance.
I really want to make a magic item that's just the scroll of Google, where you just are able to cast commune through it or something, but you have to like write in the questions.
No, it's like you
I
have
have-
you have the ability to take
That would
all
absolutely be a
knowledge. It
knowledge
just
cleric's
takes
thing.
forever.
Bing.
Internet Explorer.
Okay, nobody bump the table. I'm stacking my dice. I'll kill you in the game.
There is also another option, but this may not work as well. I can put my crow, one of my pets, and you see them pull out a crow. I can put him in the room somewhere hidden, but if he finds the crow, he might try to kill it. So, he might suspect that we're trying to watch him.
Kill you,
So that'd be a little more risky.
my brother in Christ. That was your fault.
If anybody else has any far-seeing abilities,
I do.
that would help.
I have working eyes.
I won.
That is true. We could stuff Biff inside a cabinet and have him watch for us.
large-
I am
is he?
excellent at pretending to be a
7
suit of
feet
armor.
If you put a
I-
lampshade over his
If there's
head.
magical darkness, I can also look through that to just naturally.
I.e., I took the like Eldritch Adept feat and took Dark Vision.
Stop lying to us. We know
I
you
think
didn't. No.
we can do your idea when the ball comes around, but I think I'm going to preemptively go and snoop around with some familiars.
That's fair.
But if you guys want to deal with the body and check to see if there's anything on that while I go and snoop around.
That knife.
What?
You can finally remove the knife from his skull.
Yeah. You guys work about the body, try and find any hints on it, as well as the knife, and I'm gonna go snoop around the room for a bit.
Should. Wait. No. Never mind.
I'll go ahead and just look back.
The body's in the office.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes. Oh yeah.
We're in the office.
Yeah, I'll just go. I'll go and just.
Okay, Connor, everyone's going to be looking at the body, but I'm going to go to Corvin's room and cast a flock of familiars for a bunch of spiders and send them in
Okay, so
under the
then
door.
we'll do yours first.
Damn, I was hoping you would do theirs so I could go pee.
Oh no, that's fine then. Yeah, we'll do your guys' first.
Connor have zip prop.
Connor.
Kniffy.
The knife? Yeah.
Connor.
No, we don't need the knife. It's fine.
I'm also going to blip out and go look for those workers who I requested to talk to.
Okay. So you'll
Initiate combat.
no.
Slaughter.
You'll
I will kill.
you'll blip
all-
out.
He
and
just
you'll
lops off a vampire's head to start
You'll
combat.
This goes
blip
full
out
Python.
and start looking for them. I'll be right back in a second.
Alright.
And you, all three of you, enter the labs. Terry, before you get started, comes in.
Hello, and here's
You mean
another
for-
potion.
And he's really antsy about this one.
He's like,
He's shaking it. He's like, "Here you go."
is he like pale? He's
Yeah.
just like,
I mean,
Careful, don't shake it too much.
he's like a gaseous cloud with hands. He doesn't really have a head, and he
his ghostliness is
Liquid is
pale.
just-
he just gives you the potion. He doesn't tell you what it does or anything. You have been with him a while, so you can trust him. And then he goes back into his little cubby.
He barfed in a potion, guys. I'm telling you
I
this.
mean, you heard him. He was like, so he goes back to do his own thing,
I'll
and,
put it in my bag for a moment.
and you're left. It is yellow, by the way. So you go
Oh,
back.
so he
Is that
pissed
the
in a
same
bottle.
color as the other potions? Or?
No, the other potions were blue.
Seems like this is a different type of potion.
So you go into this room. You see Corellia on the main operating and examination table, almost exactly how you found her, except there's less blood around her, and she's more with her hands on her chest. She's more formal looking than all sprawled out.
Yeah.
And
Someone messed with the body.
Okay.
yes, it was teleported back, and it wasn't going to stay the
Can-
exact same.
Who has the best medicine amongst us
As a
four?
+9.
Hold
Oh
on.
dang!
Yeah, I took.
Oh,
I
yeah.
took,
Crazy.
I think I made my character too combat heavy.
I
I, don't
made
really
mine-
have
Yeah,
anything.
my entire character
Oh,
is
yeah, you should
No, no.
definitely do
I
it.
Just wait until we get to a
proficiency in
combat.
medicine because background.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm my
Leave the
+9.
man.
Yeah.
just slaughter just random people.
Yeah, Zadora should definitely do it.
For speed, but we're in like a compact
Oh yeah.
area.
Don't
Didn't
remember.
you pick, didn't
yeah, I
you
have
pick Mount
Mount
Quebec?
Yes, I do.
It's like awful.
Or it would be. I mean, I'm 8 feet tall, and you're like, Minotaurs are not Minotaurs. Centaurs
like,
are big.
I'm the size of a horse.
so this is
like-
gonna be a giant
Okay.
fucking.
Oh my gosh.
We would not fit down the hallway. We just,
Well, hey,
Are
if
you
we have a
kidding?
battle in the ballroom.
yeah.
So there are rubber gloves.
Yep.
There are different chemical vials. There's different operating utensils.
Doris really doesn't even need those things. 'Cause
Okay.
It's like a misty form for herself. as
Okay.
well. And she's also immune to poison
Okay, so you
and
see
disease.
the body laid out before you, knowing that it has been touched a little differently because Whitney moved it. So what? Oh, hey, Derek. No. So what do you all do first?
First, want to remove that knife.
Better not be the last of them.
Yeah, just
I said that better not be the last
slowly
of them.
remove the knife.
Yeah.
I brought one up because I knew you were going to try and steal mine.
Yeah. So you remove the knife. Nothing abnormal happens. The wound does bleed a little bit, and the knife is out. It's a little bloodied, but it looks to be pretty similar to the other knives that you're in. That you have the what's the word? In your possession. In your possession.
Just lay that to the side.
Okay, I'm going to.
I think now we need to inspect this wound a bit more closely since we have the weapon out.
I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna kind of move away from them three and do another tarot spread for divination, and I'm going to ask if.
Who murdered her?
No, I can't ask it.
be
It
a
has to be a
yes or
few. Has to be well. No, it has to be a future event. There's to be a question about a future event within the next 7 days. It's not augury. It's
Will
divination.
another person die?
Will I find out who the murderer is?
Will I get bitch?
Corvin was the dude we were talking to in that room. Will Corvin try to hide anything related to the murder? And this can occur like literally 10 minutes from when I'm asking, or
But
like
told.
days
But
after.
we're not told.
Yes and no.
Huh?
I can say yes and no, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, no, and
Yes,
definite,
no, or-
and unknown. Big
Yes.
mix them up.
Yes, no.
IDK. I still think that's an option.
So that's like an unsure, or like
He will do both.
Oh, you can reply in a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Puckery,
Yeah.
puckery,
So it's not a
puckery.
yes no. You gotta give them a
Yeah.
rhyme or an omen.
He will lie, but he won't die. He comes alive when feasting on people's insides.
AKA yes and no.
My cards are faulty.
yes and no doesn't make sense, because if he is gonna hide something, he's gonna hide something. If he's not gonna hide something, he's not
Could
gonna hide
be
something.
hiding something that's
be
involved.
unknowingly
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ah,
Cool.
we know more than your spirits.
All right.
I'm not even here.
Where are you?
You're here. You're in the freaking.
Okay.
Am I with?
Yes.
Wait. Oh, we're in the sub area. Yeah.
Okay.
I've lost
So
my
we
track.
removed the knife, and now we're gonna inspect the wound, see if there's anything about
Yeah.
it we missed, and also the knife.
I'm gonna.
All
move
right. Well,
back
roll
over
an
there to help.
insight check.
Anyone helping me?
I'm helping you.
I'm going to beforehand.
No, I
cast-
won't.
Beforehand, I cast guidance on myself, giving me an extra D4.
That's cheating.
You should just roll your extra dice as well.
Yeah. This one plus
Moan into
D4.
the mic.
You has advantage.
I'll roll America too. Yeah, I needed that. Okay, so it's 8 plus 13. 8 plus 13. Man. Don't we all love that?
This will be 21.
Yeah, 21.
21?
Yeah, 21.
So you.
I probably think you're discussing in the audio podcast. Dude. You're just moaning and chewing on food.
So as you inspect this wound,
Yeah.
you see that there. It seems like the dagger is what did it. There's no secondary wound. It doesn't really exit since it's not long enough to go through her head, but it.
The
It gets-
dagger was poisoned. That's what did it.
It pierced her brain, and it was sufficient to kill her instantly as soon as it was pushed through her head.
This is quite the
She didn't-
lobotomy.
It is research.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did.
Lobotomies usually just
Do you
tap
see-
the brain. They don't go through it.
Is there anything else you want to check on
I
it?
want to inspect the knife as well, just see if there is anything about it we're possibly missing. We know it's the knife.
Yeah, obviously.
We saw
It-
a big magic.
So
aura
you
on it.
so you said that there's no way to do like fingerprint type stuff on objects in your world, like
Not
at
back
all.
then.
Too old.
Not back then.
I
All
can't.
systems have been invented though.
And I-
Invisible safes.
Yeah, but not
Yeah,
It's
fingerprint
not
scanners.
fingerprint.
And rubber gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not DNA
And I-
processing.
it's plot armor. Okay.
Okay,
Shut the fuck
you
up.
you're a cleric, and that is that all your levels?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. What did he do? He stuck his tongue through the hole of the donut and licked up like a lollipop and brought donut into his mouth.
Ugh.
Okay.
Do you
we're
have
gonna ignore
do
the
you, do you have legend lore in your spells?
I don't think I can. I think that's above 5th level.
No, it's 5th level exactly.
But do you have it in your spell?
Well, he's a cleric, so each day he resets his spells.
There's so many your mom jokes I can make right now.
Huh?
I didn't prepare it because in my mind I was also thinking it might be.
Okay, I didn't prepare it. I'm not high enough level as a cleric to do
I
it.
can prepare it tomorrow. Though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that might be a good alternative to fingerprints because it could help you reconstruct who had held it last.
The thing with legend lore is it would be up to him because it's like the history.
Yeah, but it might give us like a good, like maybe he'll reveal to us like it was a male that held it. Okay, that would narrow it down a little bit. Yeah, bigger hands. Okay, that might narrow it down even further.
I think I didn't take it because I was thinking it might break the case a little bit too big, like too easily.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about divination spells is it's kind of up to the DM what things are reconstructed from the spell
Yeah,
anyway.
but still, it's like I felt it could have been on the same level as
Speak
Zone
with
of
dead,
Truth,
or speak with dead.
or Zone of Truth.
Well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anything else you all think we should investigate?
Down my
Because
pee hole.
Clearly, we know how she.
I tried to scrape under her fingernails and there wasn't anything there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There was.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's one thing. One idea. Can we inspect? Like, is it like where is the cologne scent coming from specifically?
It's more not like someone took the cologne and
It
dumped
just,
it
like,
on her after
sprayed
she
it.
died.
Yeah.
It's more like
A residual.
whenever you're with someone, and you spend a lot of time with them, you start to smell a little like them. It's like whenever it just goes to indicate that Ivan and Corellia spent a lot of time together.
You looked so angry.
Did it get hot again? We told you it resets every hour.
Sidoris.
So it just seems like Ivan has spent a lot of time in this room.
It seems that she was stabbed in the mouth, so perhaps the
Through
chin?
the chin.
It was like
It was through.
this.
Okay, I thought it was through the roof of the mouth.
Well,
It goes
actually,
through
it was
both.
the roof of the
It
mouth.
goes through both.
It wasn't into her mouth, but it was like underneath the hole there.
I don't know if you've read the book, right?
What book?
You haven't fully read the How to Kill a Vampire.
No.
Okay.
We haven't.
Is the dagger like pretty ornate, like the
Yes,
handle?
It was a god-killing
Yes,
dagger.
the handle is very ornate, and it's a little different on each one, but it's obvious it
Okay.
was made by the same.
I'm gonna
crafter.
inspect like
It's got
the.
the
I'm gonna inspect the handle
Star.
and like the cross guard, just kind of the general area where the person would be holding it for like fibers, like any sort of like cloth fibers, or like dirt, or just anything in like the grooves at all.
No, it seems like this is a pretty well kept dagger, and you don't see anything that would give it away that it has been in dirt or it ripped something. I mean, hilt-wise, ripped something. So, it's pretty clean.
Are there any scratches near her throat where the dagger went in?
yes,
No.
There's a big gaping hole.
There's a gaping
Besides
hole
it, like
around the...
where maybe some fingernails might have scraped.
Nope. It seems like this is a very clean, quick kill on their part, and her body is completely intact. After I'm expecting you to do a pretty thorough scan,
Yeah.
there are no bruises, there are no scrapes. She is in perfect condition, other than her head.
Either being dead.
Other than there is no blood flowing through her veins.
No, it's still flowing, but it's drying.
It's flowing out. Not
I think the next course of action is to cut out her heart and inspect that.
What would that accomplish?
How did the heart stop, I wonder? I've given you all the facts, but it's not good enough.
I must.
Like an English teacher.
We
I'm
must,
trying.
no, it's biology. Wait.
Every organ.
It's biology.
Does it beat?
No, it's biology class. We gotta dissect the body. We
Oh,
gotta figure
no.
out what happened.
No. Okay, as this is happening,
describe the
as
gore.
this is happening, we go to Ryan's character, who is searching. Biff, who is searching out.
You guys just walk in, we've sawed off her head.
He is searching.
What's up, guys? Got like
Hey.
giant
Hey. Okay. He is searching. He's searching for the people and the patrons that were working in cafe during the night of the murder. And I'm guessing you start in more of the living areas.
I want to go because I asked the guards that I was with to go find them and bring them to the place, and then they never did.
Yep.
So I want to go back over there and see if I can find those guards.
Okay, so you go back. You know how to get to that wing, and you're up there. Doesn't seem like there's any guards, but you do see a few different workers in the cafeteria around this time, since it is lunchtime, and they seem to have bread and a very thick red liquid that they're serving to all the people in line. It's not a super long line. This is more like the end. This is more of the end of the lunch rush.
This is not pudding.
But there's no guards around.
You don't see guards, but you do see people working. There's about 3 people that catch your eye behind the counter helping serve, and then there's one person in the very back getting them ingredients and stuff from the back that they need. There's probably about 5 people in front of you, so at this rate, they'll be done in 2 minutes or so.
I'm gonna wait, just wait for them, all the people to get done eating. And then, once they're done, to walk up and talk to them. And, make sure the people that they're serving it went away.
Yeah, so after about 15, 20 minutes, pretty much everybody's gone from this lunch area, but the caretakers are still there cleaning up and organizing, getting ready for the next meal. And there's a man standing at the counter who he's strangely not a Dermo. He's a Devi. You can tell because of the marking on his neck. Mm-hmm. He's got more of a darkish hair, chiseled features, and a white gown, like a chef type gown. And he's tidying up the counter and cleaning as he looks up at you. Hey, can I help you?
Oh, yes. I was interested in speaking to the workers here, particularly the ones that worked here 2 nights ago.
He's going to mimic you. Well, you're speaking to him.
Really?
Yes.
It's nice to meet someone who's such a manly voice,
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Anyways. Yes. 2 nights ago.
He just walked down.
Yes, what? No.
Were you in the back room? Did you see any suspicious activity in the back?
Ugh. So, he switches back to his normal voice. So, if you're talking about the murder, I was messing with you, okay? If you're talking about the murder, then I don't really know much. This happened after the meeting, and after the meeting, we don't serve. I'm sure there's places you can get snacks around here, but the main cafeteria is not open. I shut the place down personally.
What time?
Probably 30 to 45 minutes before the meeting.
And I would know that the murder took place
after the meeting.
After the meeting. Okay.
Yep.
Right after?
No, it took place about 2 hours after the meeting.
Okay.
Who has access to this room?
Most of the vampire lords have access. Definitely Ivan, and definitely his personal guard. There was there was a chick around here. I'm new here, see, but there was a chick.
Oh, that's why you make fun of investigators.
Make fun of him? No, your voice is preposterous.
No, it's not.
I think it's funny. And
Oh my god.
anyways, you listen, okay.
Biff just picks the guy by his shirt and throws him across the room.
about my voice.
Anyways, there was a girl dressed in all black. I think she's the head of the armed guard here, or she's a very high-ranking official. And she was looking through some of our food, but then she got really curious about the balcony, and I was wondering why. She obviously has all the blueprints. I guess she wanted to see it up close and personal. And then that was during lunch, and I didn't question it because that's above my pay grade, And
Yes, and your pay grade is very low.
okay,
Give me a piece of bread.
no.
Yes.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Bitch. Okay, fine, please. Sorry.
18.
I think we're killing Derek.
No.
Too many donuts.
Okay, so you don't quite intimidate him to where he's like, but you definitely startle him a bit. He's like, okay, just hold your horses, give me 1 second. And he turns his back to you and
What do you
grabs
say
a
about
piece
me?
of bread and gives it to you. He's like, here you go.
I crumpled it in a fist.
Okay, well, I need you to roll another.
Intimidation check.
Yes, with this time with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? What?
You just threatened him.
That's what
I didn't threaten him. I just like,
Dude, what is it whenever you take bread and you crumble it right in front of him looking at him? Is that not a threat?
That is a threat, but why would he have a disadvantage on intimidation?
I guess that's true.
Because it's bread.
Yeah, no, okay, fine. No, you don't have disadvantage, but...
yeah.
I will crush your bread to make my bones.
What? You said backwards.
Yeah, that's the thing. You crushed the bread. Shut up. It was
What'd you
fun.
get?
18 again.
Yeah, no, I got a 21. Listen, I've been more than accommodating. I even got you your bread, but I'm going to need you to leave now because it's pretty obvious I can't help you any
take a bite
further.
out of it.
You take a bite. The breadcrumbs. You just.
If you crush bread, it's still gonna it's gonna fall apart, but there's still some left in your hand.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I was describing toast.
Yeah, more.
Oh.
That's why it crunched.
Yeah.
It's like cooked bread, like garlic bread. You know how it's super crunchy?
Yeah, that makes that.
They weren't giving them fresh loaves.
Why would they be?
I don't know. You just said bread. You didn't say. Okay.
Honestly, I was.
Fresh loaf, freshly cut with some bread slop.
No, it's just
Great dinner.
No, it's just like it's just a loaf of bread that's cut up and jelly.
Dude,
in it.
context clues. Okay,
I
but
don't
whatever.
think it would be garlic bread.
That
It
would
doesn't.
be ironic.
It doesn't matter. Anyways,
It's vampire bread.
Enjoy this onion bread. No.
Before you gave me this piece of bread, you were going on about a lady. You said you recognized her.
Yeah, this is only like, I want to say my second week here. I think her name's Carrie. But, yeah, no, it's Carrie. Her name's Carrie, and she doesn't really snoop around here a whole lot. She doesn't even eat in here. She eats in the barracks with the rest of her men. She's got a pretty loyal group of people with her. Most of the dermos would do anything for her.
I would like to make an insight check on.
This whole conversation?
Yes, but like I want to know if like he's lying about her.
Yeah, no, you can roll that with advantage.
Okay. Oh, that's good. He says a natural one. 19.
19? Yeah. He's being pretty honest. He
Okay.
hasn't lied about anything. He is pretty unknowledgeable because he is new, and that does check out. He's also a little nervous because you rolled pretty well on your intimidation check, but everything checks out.
Okay.
He's quaking.
Whenever he sees bread.
Yeah,
He's
no.
gonna have flashbacks.
Plot twist, the bread did it.
It was all.
Well,
She choked on a dagger.
No, it's
she
like
choked, and instead of doing Heimlich, she tried to cut it out of her throat, but just missed.
That's
A little too much force.
no, you know it's like prison. You know, like with like prison cakes or something, they'll bake
You
the
know what
cake.
prison
with-
wallet is?
What?
Butthole.
Never mind.
Anyway.
I give up. I was gonna make a funny joke. Freaking
I think mine was pretty funny. Okay, Ryan.
get away from me.
You know it to be true.
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
you will learn respect, lowly servants, and I'd like
Excuse me?
throw the rest of the crumbs onto the counter.
Okay.
And walk away.
He kind of rolls his eyes, and I was cleaning it anyways. I wasn't finished, and he says that as you're walking away and starts dusting it off.
Ari's like at the end of the counter with like a little cloth collecting all the crumbs as they
Wait, you
scrape it
followed him?
off.
Okay.
You just been there?
Okay.
How did you get that?
I don't know how he got there, but let's not worry about it. Derek, we're with you now. You
Lovely.
have been searching for Soren's, not Soren's, damn, Corvin's chambers, and at this point you've successfully found them in the West Wing. He is on the top story, and it's pretty What do you want to do?
As I was walking, I was casting a flock of familiars,
Okay.
and they were all going to be a bunch of like tiny little spiders, and I was going to send them under the cracks of the door and start snooping around his room with them.
Okay. So it's evident this is his room. It has a big M on it, and as soon as your spiders go in, you're greeted with two rooms, kind of like a hotel, but it's a little nicer. There's the left side, which is Katlana's room, and then there is the right side, which is Corvin's room. He is... which room do you want to explore first?
Corvin's.
Corvin's. In it, you see a bed, a dresser, and a desk. The desk is like a kind of like a short filing cabinet. There's 2 drawers, and on top of it, there's a few different items. There's a candle that's not lit. He's got on his dresser some blood, and then on his bed, nicely made. And there's nothing that's like out in the open. It's a pretty clean room, but there are different drawers, and it looks like whenever you go under his bed, there is like a lockbox sort of thing. But whenever you explore, there is no one in this room. There's no balcony access either. It's just this room. He has a window he could get out of if he wanted to on his side, but it doesn't look like it's been messed with. And if you're going to explore Katlana's room, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the exact same layout, except her side is messy. It's not as clean. And yeah, what do you do?
Okay. Is there a magic lock on the door or just a normal lock?
No, just a normal lock. He gave you the keys though, didn't he?
No.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't.
But I have expertise in lockpicking, so I'm going
Perfect.
to bust open the door.
Yeah.
You smork
Let's see,
boy.
12 plus. That is. Well, I'm having to do math in my head because I didn't write it down. I have expertise, so it's plus 8, so then plus 5, so I got 25.
25? Yep. So, just takes you like about a second. Pretty easy lock, and the door swings open, and you're greeted with the similar sight as your spider saw, just bigger because you have bigger eyes now, and you can go either left or right.
I'm gonna go to the lockbox and see what's up with it.
All right, so the first thing you go to is the lockbox. You'll look under his bed, and towards the end, you see it. You reach your cane, and you kind of fish it out, and it's not very tall. It's more wide, and it doesn't. It's not actually locked, and whenever you open it, there's 2 files. One of the files mentioned is a tactics kind of thing where his general sent it to him to get the blood farms back. It seems like Ivan took this blood farm about a day before Corellia died. And then that's pretty much it for that one. But then the second one is talking about the restricted floor that is not known. So it goes into detail about the complex, specifically the Dermo complex. It doesn't seem like all of them have a 3rd floor. The first one is the distribution center. So they've got all the blood, all the vats, and different storage units where they ship it out in carriages and other miscellaneous ways. That's the 1st floor. It doesn't go up, it goes down. There's 2 basement levels. The second basement level is where the harvesting chambers are, where the thousands upon thousands of humans are put into a coma, and the blood is siphoned from them from the day they're born till the day they die. They're given enough nutrition to live and produce enough blood for them, and that's it. The 3rd floor is a testing site, and it seems...
Making new flavors of blood.
No. It seems like it's messing with the idea of turning a vampire, but not having them lose their mind. Because turned vampires are much more powerful as to get the blood that they require. But if they don't get the blood that they require, they die very quickly after they turn. They've probably got about a day tops to get blood. And he's hoping to create a more powerful vampire that doesn't have any of those side effects, which is what he's been testing in that. And the reason he's testing it in Dermo land, this goes back to... anyways, the reason he's testing it in Dermoland is because if it fails, he doesn't care if there's an outbreak and the Dermos are the ones that suffer. He doesn't want it to happen on Makarovland for sure. And, you know, it's obvious he sort of likes Quen, and he probably wouldn't want to do that to her on V-Land. So
the turned vampires, like humans turned into vampires, is that what you're talking about when you say the tested ones?
the tested ones, no, I mean the vampires that have been deprived of blood.
Okay, so when you say turned, you mean if you deprive them of blood, then they turn
again.
To a second form of
vampire. A more vicious, heinous version of them that are mindless but extremely powerful, but that potency doesn't last long. If they don't get the blood they require within 24 hours of after turning a second time, I guess after a first, since they're all vampires, after they turn that first time, if they do not get the blood they require within 24 hours, they will die. Mm. And he's hoping to basically, gain all the power, but no side effects. Mm. And that's what they've been testing there. And it seems like in this report, they've been having a few trials that are semi-successful, but they're still mindless, but they live longer. At the same time, it seems like Ivan knows that there is another floor, but he doesn't know where it is. He's expecting it. I mean, he knows it's underneath them, but he doesn't know where the access point is. And his generals outline that as well, because it seems like the fight to take that back is going to come down pretty soon. It doesn't say exactly when. It seems like it's at the ending stage, or the finalization of the planning stage.
Okay. I'm going to put the stuff back and slide it back under. And then I'm going to go check out the 2 drawers.
2 drawers? Alright, so you'll check the top drawer first, I'm assuming. And you pull it open, and it's similar to a filing cabinet. There's a bunch of different files, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it stops at G. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D. Stops at D, sorry. And then there's one in the very back that's M.
I'll check out M.
M. Okay. You reach back and you pull out M, and this seems to be a file on the Makarovs, but it's his file, so there's a bunch of different things about it. You open it, it's a vanilla folder, right? Is that what they're called? Manila folder, and it's a weakness and strength sheet of the Makarovs, and you see that there isn't one for Corvin. It's marked out, redacted. But for Katlana, her weakness is attachment. And Corvin fears that she's getting attached to Ivan, and he cannot have that. So that's why, or I'll let you, never mind. He's afraid that she's getting attached, and in there's a little subsection for Ivan which says ego. And that is pretty much all of note. It does mention his head general, but it doesn't say a name. It's a demon. Where is it? Meglaroth. He's a demon prince. It does actually mention his name, my bad. He's a demon prince who seems to be in charge of protecting the secret floor of the blood farms.
So this is the head general of Meglaroth.
Yeah, it seems to, that's why they know so much about Ivan's plans, is because the head general is in the facility as you are discovering this. He and his men probably fled to the 3rd floor, but whatever.
What was his name again?
It is MEGLO''ORATH.
Could you just... What's the name?
Meglo O'Wrath, but without the W.
Okay. Could I just like skim and see what the topics in A, B, C, and D are?
Yeah, D is Divi. Or sorry, I will start with A. A is miscellaneous stuff. Nothing too important, just facts. B, blood farms. That goes into the specifics of those. C is certain people in the unmarked vampires in their corner. He's just keeping an eye on them. And then D is for Dermo and Devi. They're both in that one. It's a pretty thick file compared to the other ones.
Okay. Okay. For the blood farms one, I want to go straight to the how to get to the third floor on the one in Devi.
Okay, so you open it and you can tell that this is one of his most precious blood farms because of the testing facility. It's also one of his largest and because of his shipping and everything. He houses 25,000 humans and he's harvesting their blood each and every day. And the third floor access point is a very, very small hatch in the back left corner. There's a tile you can move, which allows for magical access, but you need a special, what is it? You need vampire blood to open it. It can't be opened by just a normal person.
It's a good thing we have a lead detective who has vampire blood.
And then I want to go to Devi, but specifically Quinn's.
Quinn, he is using her. He does sort of care for her, because you can tell by how he's phrasing it. He knows every single one of her weaknesses. Every weakness one of hers is labeled. She gets attached too easily. She cares too much. She wants to be approved, and she's going for Makarov. She's going for Cassius. Not Cassius. She's going for Corvin specifically because he is the most powerful vampire lord and in control of the most powerful vampire coven. And he's using that because he doesn't want to fight a war on two fronts. He wants to fight Dermo, and it seems with how he's writing it, he plans on attacking Devi, or it seems like he's going to attack Devi if he cannot win over Quinn enough to where they have complete trust. But he is extremely apprehensive about her and doesn't trust her at all. He does trust her enough to move the men for the blood farms, but yeah, he is not cocky whenever he's writing this. It's extremely factual. It's extremely to the point. And from this, I mean, he's a pretty smart dude. So,
Was this written in pen or paper? Or pen or pencil?
Pen.
Okay. I want to flip over the paper. I want to pull out my notebook. And I'm going to put the notebook and pull out a piece of chalk that I use for ritual casting. And I'm going to rub the back of the paper so that the bumps caused by the thing, so I have a backwards writing of that the Quinn thing.
Okay.
Do you want to go to break now? That's like 8:30.
Yeah, that's a good point. So after
I got that, I was going to put everything back and leave anyways.
Okay, so after that, Whitney closes up nicely. He's very detailed in his work, and no one can notice if he was in there. He leaves, and we will go.
I locked the door behind me, too.
You lock the door behind you, and we will go to break. We will see you back in 30 seconds.
Starving boy.
I started it.
Oh.
We're back.
Alrighty, we're back from our break, and we're ready to
Oh, wow, you
see
did not wait for me.
and unload
No, never do it.
what Derek just
Unload.
found and find more clues and get
Ready
more
to
baddies.
unload.
I'm currently dipping bread in tea.
Cool, what are we doing
that's
now?
Bread, are you gonna crush it in your fist?
I'm popped back.
Okay.
I have
You
all
are
Biff's
in
crumbs.
the office. Who else is in the office?
Everyone. They
Everyone,
were
I guess
inspecting
so.
the body. Oh, except for Biff. Biff
Oh,
wasn't.
yeah.
Unless you came back after harassing the cafeteria workers.
He harassed me. All right.
So is like your middle name Buff and your last name is Baff?
My first name
Biff
is
Buff Baff?
Biff.
Or it's just Biff.
I mean, my name's just like Soul, so I don't
Just
know.
Biff.
It's just
Biff Biff Biff.
My parents were uncreative.
I'm going to walk over to the forensics lab where most of us are, except for
Doris
Biff.
is-
All right. So yeah, you'll see Zadorus, and you'll see the giant centaur thing, and they pulled the knife out. They set it on a tray nearby the body, and they're inspecting it. And you can already see that the body's in pretty, minus the head, of course. It's a pretty pristine.
Yeah.
There's no bruises, no cuts, and yeah. So
So what have you guys found?
It seems it was definitely the knife. There's no other marks beyond it. And there's...
I checked the dagger for fibers and dirt, and there wasn't anything.
But we have removed it so we can get a better look, and it was a stab and immediately dead.
I think this might give us a better insight, and I'm going to pull out the book and flip over to the page where it says Vampire Lord.
So it mentions that most of these are hypothetical since no vampire lord has been killed yet, but it said that most likely the weapon that could kill them would be one of the different daggers. They hypothesized that only the Dermo dagger could kill House Dermo, but
That's been disproven.
and then it also goes to show that a vampire lord must be willing to die because the willing spirit should allow for the rest of the power to go to their child. And it's not like they have to be in the same room or anything. It's more like a spiritual thing, you know, where they are now recognized as...
He's reading this right now. Okay.
Yeah, more of like the plot, the...
Do you
know, the
communicate this
notes.
with all of
I'm
them?
reading the book out loud.
Okay.
Yep, so that one catches your eye. And then the other one is that a vampire lord, as, you know, theorized, shouldn't be able to truly die. Their consciousness might live on, so you might be able to, like... They said that they might be able to talk to them. They don't know for sure. They might be completely dead. They think that they're kind of in a state of limbo, like whenever they're in a coma, whenever they're put down underground, because they sort of do die whenever they go into that process, but they are still preserved. So they thought maybe in a semi-unritual, unnatural form they could bring a vampire lord back, but again, they've never tried it. And yeah, I mean, I guess you haven't asked, but it doesn't seem like anybody tried to bring her back after, since nobody went into the room after, and it was pretty much a done deal. They just left her there and hired you all.
Hmm.
In anything you have read of hers, did she seem to seek after the great beyond?
We haven't found any of her own writing.
Beyond a letter about the blood farms.
So was it suicide made to look like murder?
I think we need to pay a visit to Ivan.
Agreed.
Let me do some jumping, because I have some information that might make him talk pretty easily.
I'd like to bring him back here.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we bring him. Alright.
And I go in and just start kind of making sure it's in prim and proper condition.
Getting the portable stove out of the fucking room
Yeah.
that you use, that Ari used to make tea in the interrogation room.
It's
Yeah.
just a little
Toss it
pile
in
of
the trash.
charcoals.
Well, you just said it was charcoal.
Well, it's like a little stand and a teapot on top.
Tosses it in Ari's corner of the office.
Okay.
Simply puts it on your desk.
Okay, I was gonna say, you're gonna make Ari cry.
That's not what Zadorus would do.
Alright.
would
Who
do.
wants to go get Ivan with me?
I shall accompany you.
That would definitely be sort of is more imposing.
I'll burn some incense to clear away the smell of death.
It's here all the time.
Oh yes, perhaps we should get a sheet to cover his mother.
His mother's in a different room.
Still.
Yeah.
No, we'll just
I mean,
bring
there's
the
a door
mother
that's shutting
into
it.
the
I'm like,
wide open.
I'm like actually gonna do that. I'm gonna take like lavender incense and just place sticks around the room and start burning them.
Just
Okay,
imagine-
so Slope. Me, Solp, and Biff
It's like
are gonna
gold
go.
with-
I'm just imagining we
Jeez.
set the body up behind the mirror, so
No.
it's like we just randomly flip it to two-way where it's just the dead mom sitting in a chair.
Yeah. Let's go get Ivan, and I'm gonna walk into the interrogation room and blip out, so that whenever we come back, we bring him straight into the interrogation room.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm just hiding.
So, if you two hold on together, you'll both blip back to where you were. So you're both together,
And,
all
he
three
was-
of you together,
Gulp was going in.
and you're going to look around for Ivan. And how do you want to do this? You want me to just kind of find him for you, or do you want to actually look?
Well, we'd probably go check his room first, or his office, wherever that would be.
He has both, and you check his room, and he's not there. And one of the guards would. Oh, are you? Excuse me. Are you the detectives?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but Ivan's not here right now. He's actually on an expedition. He went out with a few other guards. He does this every once in a while, and I don't think he'll be back until around dinner time. But you are more than welcome to search his room or any other quarters. He told me as much.
Inside check.
Oh, make it. Oh, yeah.
I'm not there. I'm suggesting to you.
Metagaming pigeon.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Then
It's
I
a
guess,
check.
I guess. What time is it like right now?
Probably around 3 p.m. So
So,
dinner's
like-
around 6.
Okay, so we have 3 hours to sneak through his office and his bedroom.
Can I do that? Can I send a crow with them? Like just to perch on his shoulder?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm there in spirit.
Okay. I guess let's snoop around his room a bit, and then we'll head to his office. And I'm gonna. Oh, and try and be quiet about
Okay.
stuff.
So you're gonna.
I write like on my notebook. It's like a big, poorly drawn, handwritten thing, like probably bugged, and I show it to Slump or whatever your name is.
No one knows my name.
Cause you made it weird.
I don't know.
Like Biff is weird, but it's easy. Yours. I could call you, and it'd be fine.
So you all enter his room, and it's a similar layout to Carilia's. It's elegant, and there's her chambers, there's the living room, and then there's a study/office type suite on the other side. And the furniture's similar. You'll notice that he doesn't have a balcony. He has just a window that you can look out of that's covered with black drapes. Looking in, you see 2 different couches and a dinner table, not a dinner table, but like a coffee table, so you can have a conversation with each other. There's a chair. On your left, you see his bed, and he's got some furniture in there, a desk, a few drawers, and a closet on the very far side. And then you see his office with a bunch of different books. It's pretty tall. It's actually a bigger bookshelf and library than the one his mother had. He has some work that doesn't seem to be unfinished, but you'll have to get closer. And like he was working on something on his desk. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He's actually got a globe and a map up, and the map is labeled with different little flags that show territory in this region of the world, and it shows a lot of red M's as opposed to blue D's where they should be. But you'll notice a really big flag is specifically on the circle, not center, but it's a pretty big one on this map. So
You guys snoop around. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic real quick.
so you guys are going to snoop while he casts Detect Magic. What areas would you like to check out first?
Can I do a perception check through my crow? I have
Can
the
it
stat
speak?
block. Huh?
Can it speak?
It has a mimicry ability.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm doing a
you
perception
also have,
check.
You have to be within 100 feet of a familiar to be able to get into it.
Oh,
You're on a
yeah.
different plane.
Oh, yeah, so no, that wouldn't work.
Oh, that's
I think
true.
it's 100 feet to communicate.
Yeah, but
Telepathically and go into its head.
You're in a completely different plane, so yeah. That
Well,
would
this is
not work.
using my what do you call it? Swarm Master thingy for my ranger levels.
Check.
I'd like to check the bedroom.
I mean, I'm sure you're right about the
Bedroom?
whole planar thing. I'm just not sure about the distance.
Do you want to go with him into the bedroom, Ethan?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, sick! I can read people's thoughts.
Okay. So, you get a closer look into the bedroom, and it's a pretty normal looking bedroom. It's very nice and well kept. There's not clothes strung about and anything like that. It's all organized, it's put in the respective drawers. The closet seems to be open and the light is on, which
Okay.
is a little out of character for how well the rest of the room is. And whenever you first walk in, there's like a L-shaped desk in that corner,
Mm-hmm.
which has a few different drawers, but there's a chair right there, and it seems like he can get work done there if he doesn't want to be in his study. There's right next to it is an actual drawer with, there's two things on it, and you can get up there, and you can get access to those, opening them, and a dresser on the opposite wall with actual clothes and what he'd need to look nice, and then, like I said, the closet.
Okay, I'm gonna look under the bed.
Under the bed.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
gonna look in the closet after.
Okay, I was about to say, how are you going to look under the bed?
Yeah.
um,
I can't get down there.
you look under the bed, and you don't see anything. It's pretty bare. There's nothing under there, minus some of the support beams for the bed.
Mhm.
There's two on the outside, one in the center, and two closest. And you look in the closet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you swing the closet door open, and the light's already on, and all of his nice clothes and stuff, but there is a little step stool in the corner that seems to be folded up and put away, and there's another dresser which looks like it has some clothes in it. This part of the isn't well kept. It seems like the door's just closed and it's left to be a mess, and that's all you can see physically.
Can I physically go into the closet, or am I unable?
No, it's a pretty spacious closet.
Oh,
You can go
okay.
in. It's like a walk-in closet. There's shoes, clothes.
I want to check behind. I want to check behind everything, sort of.
Behind
sort of
everything?
like behind the clothes. See if there's anything behind there, like behind the wardrobe and such.
So you check behind the clothes. You don't really see stuff. You see a few pair of shoes that haven't been well kept or that have been strung about. But you, again, you notice that the ladder's more of a step stool, like 3 short steps, just enough to get access to a top shelf of something or another part of the room. Just it's not a full-on ladder, you know. So
Okay. Seeing this step stool, or I guess whenever Slurp backs out, I'll see.
Frick off.
I'll see the step stool, and I'm not gonna grab it because I assume I can reach whatever he needs it for, and I'll just be looking for, like either a hidden place up high or like a top shelf or like on top of something.
Okay. Comes up. No. Yeah, no. You don't really see or feel anything at the top shelf of stuff. You do notice that looking, some of the tiles, the ceiling of this specific closet
Mm-hmm.
is a little different. Seems like some of them might be able to move.
Okay.
If you wanted to try that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. There's nothing special.
I'll try that.
Let's try that. All right.
I'll help him out.
You'll help him? So are you gonna like get on his back and like balance and
No, the opposite. I
Yeah.
can't get. If I
Okay.
got on his back, I'd like kill him.
Okay, whatever. So you look up, and which tile there? there's 3 tiles that. Oh, sorry. There's 4 tiles that make up the. There's 4 different corners. You want to try the one in the left corner or the right corner?
Is it like? Is there one that has like little like fingerprints on it from dust or any like dust?
Can you roll a
movement?
perception
check? 20.
Yep. You see that the one on the opposite side of where the ladder is seems to have been opened recently, or it's opened a lot because there is some residue. Not residue, but it's cleaner on those different spots where a hand could push it up and slide it across and get access to another part.
Okay, then I'll look in there.
Okay. So you look in there, and looking to the right, you don't really see a whole lot. But looking in the other direction, you see a manila folder and its plans to continue keeping the blood farm that is in the Dermo area. That's what it's labeled, basically. It's labeled battle plans.
What is it? Written in Infernal?
No, I mean, I guess, yeah, it would be written in
Okay,
Infernal.
then it's just, yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Alright, then I'll take that.
Okay. And that's what you two find. So while this is happening, you've casted Detect Magic. And which area of the house would you like to focus on first?
Probably. You guys went into his room, right? So then I'd probably go into the library.
You go to the library. You would cast Detect Magic. You would see... It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of magic in here. There are a few notable spots where in the drawer where he would write, on the desk that he would write, in that drawer, there's a little pulsing that would indicate some magic item is in there. And then there's another magic item where in the desk, you know how sometimes there's a skinny, small tray in the center? There's one, a little pulsing in there too. Other than that, there's a little bit of magic, but you assume it's because he is a magic user, not because there's a ton of things going on behind the scenes.
Alright, so I want to go for the... I'll go for the middle desk first and pull that out to see what it is.
Okay, so pull the middle desk out. There's some pens and different utensils to write and do crafts with. And then in the very back, there is this item that catches your eye, and it is a feather.
What class of magic is it?
Black feather, necrotic.
Necrotic. Okay. I'm going to pull it out. Let me make sure. Okay, then I'm gonna look at the other one real quick after I pull it out.
The other magic item?
Yeah.
So yeah, you pull out the second drawer, and it's a little bit bigger. Stop. Okay. Yeah, my legs were crossed, and he freaking shoved his hand through it like it. Or hand. Oh, okay.
Foot.
So yeah, foot. Sorry, your hand would have been a little too tight. So you open the second drawer, and
There will be no shoving of the hands anywhere.
Yeah, no, you're right. Keep it PG-13. So
Can we get back?
Yep. So you open the second.
That as if you didn't derail the whole thing.
Okay, you open the second drawer. There's a few different manila folders in it, and then at the bottom, it is a what the fuck? It's a spell book for ritual casting, black magic stuff, alchemy, all kinds of stuff that he would need to improve a like what he was wanting to do, improve blood so that he could become more powerful, or that others could become more
I
powerful.
want to reflavor blood to be more powerful.
Blue raspberry.
Or
Blood
make
to
a
taste better.
potion that would do
Yeah.
the exact same thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to have blood in
I
it.
want
He just
different
wants
flavors.
the recipe for the Skyrim blood potion.
And that's pretty much what you find.
I want to make a world now where it's just vampires have like different flavors of blood. It's like
This is
soda.
cotton
This
candy.
is a pineapple Polynesian
Would you like the
virgin.
cherry flavored or the grape flavored?
Then I'll walk back into the main room and see if there's any pings in there.
No, there's no real pings in there. You do get a slight. I mean, he has used magic in the room, but it's not like he's hiding anything, and it's not like you're detecting anything that's been hidden maliciously or something that's not supposed to be found or of use in the living room.
Okay. Then I'm going to non-ritually cast Identify.
On what?
The feather.
The feather?
Yeah.
It belongs to a demon, and it's you don't know who, but it does belong to a demon.
Like a demon's wing, or like
Like a
okay.
demon's wing.
A daemon.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put it back.
Okay, you put it back.
Then I'll walk into the room where they are and see if there's any magic.
There is a little bit of magic, but it's more coming from the folder that he's holding.
Yeah.
And other than that, no, it's pretty dull and pretty dull in here.
Ooh. Never mind. I have an idea, but I'm not gonna say it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Remember the game.
what do you? You do have the folder in your possession.
Folder.
Who speaks in front?
I do.
It's battle plans for the blood farm, and it shows that they have successfully taken and they have held the blood farms for about 2 days at this point, or 3 days, sorry. And that he does know about there being a third layer. He does not know where it is, and him and his officials are trying to find it. And it says that he sent Carrie, and he is talking about him going with Carrie today to find it.
So many C names.
Yeah, I realized that after I wrote this, and I was like, dang, this is going to get confusing. And I've already said Corbin and Cassius and swapped them, so.
Corellia.
Jeez, yeah. Oh, no, Corellia is with K.
Well, it's still a
Oh.
sound.
Yeah, just like, your mom. Sorry.
I would say a word.
Uh,
Get demonetized though. For
That's
it.
what. Oh, and it does mention that they have injured a demon.
Does it say what type or the demon's name? It just says he injured a demon.
Doesn't really know that they don't know the demon's name. They just know that he is a very vital aspect of Makarov's operation in defending it there, and he's very powerful. He killed quite a few of Dermo's men.
Can we say that you told us the information you knew when we were in the blip or whatever you want, the office, so we don't?
Can we
Because I
cut
don't
over
think
to
you've told us that.
You?
Yeah, real quick.
I don't think we
for
know
something.
about the entrance into the third.
Yeah, you don't, and I didn't have time to tell you.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm not wanting to say it here because we're in his room and he probably bugged it.
Can we cut over to Ari and Biff real quick?
No, let me finish my thing. I'm going to cast Find Familiar, summon a raven. I'm going to write a letter to Ivan. I'm going to tell the raven to deliver it to Ivan and send him in the direction of the blood farm that's on the map on the wall. And the letter's going to say we need to talk, detectives.
okay. Yeah. So you send that out, and you open the window, and the raven flies out and turns towards the east, and then
Quoth the raven.
Now I'm
it
done.
flies off into the distance.
Okay.
And with that, we will go over to Zaloris and Zalor.
Zador.
Oh, Zador.
Like
The
the
door.
door.
Like
German.
Zador. Okay. And then
It's like Za, Dora, and then
and
S.
Ari.
Not Dora, because that show sucks.
So what are you two
Dora
doing?
was
So
awesome.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
that was better.
No.
exit the blip
Okay, you've exited the blip successfully.
after setting up my incense inside, and then I'm going to cast Locate Object on Corvin's cologne? His
Corvin's
cologne?
cologne or Ivan's?
One that we were smelling all over.
Ivan's.
Ivan's, okay. But like the bottle
We
of
haven't
his
You
cologne.
haven't seen the bottle.
You haven't seen it.
Which
And I guess they would have seen it in his bathroom.
Locate object requires you to have seen the object unless the DM wants to rule that you can try and imagine it in your head.
it would be more you could locate cologne bottles though, but that wouldn't exactly work. Because you just be
Okay, can I
cleaning
just
every
locate
cologne
the
bottle.
scent itself?
Yeah, it would take you back to the room where it's most potent, which would be his
True.
bathroom, I guess.
But it might also lead me to wherever the bottle is.
And it's in his. Yeah, you wouldn't know where it is. You would know it's in his bathroom.
So we did see it.
Yeah, you would have seen it.
Okay.
So he was lying.
So he didn't lose it.
And you just sense the direction of it.
We already knew that. He lied.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I rolled like a natural 20. Got like a 30 something.
Never mind then.
Yeah, that turned off any of my plans to. Anyways. Yeah.
Forget about what I said.
Okay, so what are you doing, Zador?
Zadoris has just been cleaning up the interrogation room, just making sure it's in a proper condition for whenever Ivan gets brought back. So just like sweeping, making sure the table is clean, having whatever they may want to, like any possible pieces of evidence that might tie in, just like laid to the side, and just has been organizing it for the most part.
Okay.
Nothing really special.
So as you're doing that, Terry is going to come out.
Hey, so that potion I made you, right? Take some of whoever's hair and put it in it. Shake it up, and then drink it. And you'll find something important.
And then he just wisps away.
That would be good for the other group to have.
I just love how he's a cloud with arms sticking out of it.
I'm a literal misty figure in a cloak.
So,
Hey, buddy, you should put someone's hair in the
with all
potion.
I'm
that,
not dissing him, I just think it's funny.
So yeah.
At least you have a head.
I'll give it up.
It's also mist.
I know, but he's like no head, it's just a ball of
are you
mist.
going to be waiting for Ivan's return in his room, or are you going
to go to his office next.
his actual office?
Yeah.
Okay, so his actual office is down the hall, straight away, and it's whenever you get in there. Or, sorry, did I?
No, he was like looking at me.
Oh,
No,
okay.
never mind.
I know you can't see where my eyes are looking.
No, I was trying to figure out where your mind
Yeah,
was.
well, you
like,
did
'cause I
it
couldn't
arms-
see because the. Never mind.
And I was like,
No.
Oh, sorry.
I turned up my sensitivity.
It was almost like you were saying to him, like, big whoopits down the hallway. Just get to
Yeah,
it.
I was
Oh
like-
no! Ethan was like,
Down
"Who?"
hall.
It's down the hall, and instead of it being an office, it seems more of like a war room for his generals and him. I'm sure he's got his office, but it seems like there's a few different offices for his top generals. And you do see an office labeled Carrie, and you see an office labeled Jamar, and you see an office labeled Ivan.
Biff like sticks his head into Carrie's office.
Okay. You'll go into Carrie's office, and
like-
Pictures of himself.
Hola, niño.
Carrie's office is well kept. It has the biggest map on it, which is of the entire world on a flat plane, and it has a ton of different castles, manors, everything that's controlled by pretty much every different house. And then there's a big black circle around the area that you're in right now, and it shows that there are like I was telling him that there's many more red dots than blue dots, and there should be more blue dots in this area. And that in Carrie's office they've got a proposition that Ivan gave to her that is talking about increasing the spending for military. And he wants to bolster their military so he can have more control over his own territory. And it's now that I'm acting vampire, now that I'm the acting lord, I'll try and get this pushed through. And then he says that it seems him and Carrie are pretty close with how this ends. Is that I wish my mother would have listened before she what's the word? Followed through with that act. And that's how it ends. It doesn't seem like... It seems like Carrie opened it, but then she was called away. And then...
I just came up with a theory. Because we probably all went to the same room. I wouldn't have deviated.
Yeah, I can't read. Probably can't read it anyways. So
Yeah.
you're probably reading it.
I can't read.
I'm the only one that can read it.
Yeah.
So-
I can read it too, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we should quickly duck into Ivan's room and then see if we can scrape anything and then head back and blip out.
I agree. I think I should learn Infernal.
I
You,
should read
uh,
more.
you go into Ivan's room,
Yeah.
and he's got a few different notes that seem to be unfinished to different military commanders, but he has one from Corbin, which catches your eye, and it's a threat. It's very, hey, I'm well aware of what you hold and the land that you possess of mine on the blood farms. I implore you to give it back, or there will be heavy prices to pay.
Is there a date on this letter?
No. There's no date.
But the blood farm was taken about a couple days,
That
one day,
yeah.
one
Yeah,
day
it-
before.
It's been
her
3
murder.
days that Ivan has held the blood farms,
Mhm.
and they've been unable to get it. And then the letter continues. I will take what's dearest to... I'll take the thing you hold most away from you if you do not heed my warning. And that's pretty much how it ends. It's very threatening, very imposing, and he's definitely flexing his power over Ivan. And other than that, there's nothing of real importance. He's got a similar map that battle strategies. This one, instead of the generals, where it's just flags, this one actually has battle strategies where it looks like they're routing some of their sources from different manners to the blood farms, which is how they've been able to keep it so long, because they've got most of their forces there, and the Makarovs don't. So, other than that, you pretty much find everything.
We should blip.
Okay.
All right. Blip.
So you blip. They blipped.
Everyone's here except for. Oh no! Wait, your thing didn't work, right? Harry.
Mm-mm.
I just retcon what I did because
Okay.
I realized that you had already discovered that.
Okay, so we're all here.
Yep.
Okay. So, whenever I was digging through Corvin's stuff, I found this, and I pull out the chalk piece of paper that has the words written on it, but they're backwards, so you have to hold them. You have to put it up against like a light source so it shines through, so you can see the words.
Okay.
So, I found this, and it's the talking about Quinn. Theory is in the book. There's two things that stand out the most in the How to Kill a Vampire book. That is how to kill a vampire, but also the fact that the vampire never actually dies, and there's a possibility of resurrecting them. And then also the fact that the vampire lord, whenever they die, pass on their power to their younger, or to their next of like descendant, so the son. If that happened, that means Ivan would have been sort of like, it would have been sort of like a ping for Ivan that, oh, mom's dead. So I have a theory that Ivan knew that his mom was going to die that night, which is why he's able to play it off. The book's secret from everyone, which is why they don't know about it, about the pass on of power.
The only one who would know anything would be the religious leader.
Religious leader and the vampires that have access to the book, aka Ivan and his mother. His mother killed herself to give the power to Ivan. For what, I don't know. But they're going to plan to revive her after whatever their plan is comes to fruition.
Makes sense why you didn't want us. I mean, beyond obviously disrespecting her body, but didn't want us to mess up with it too much.
Perhaps. I assume you told us about
I'm getting to
Okay.
the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like you see the.
Yeah.
So that means that the whole murder thing is just sort of a guise. So I also believe that the evidence that we found for the two houses, both the Makarov dagger and the purple cloth, is they're trying to set it up to where we hunt down one of these two brutes to prove that one of them killed the other to break the union between the Makarov and the DeVee house. That way that Ivan can step in and shit up. And then after that...
Who hired us originally?
The Archbishop.
So
He's impartial. He's impartial. He represents all three of the vampire lords in the church. So, you'll go to this church, you want to pray to Cassius, pray to Cassius. You want to pray to Corellia, so on and so forth.
The church wouldn't have anything to do with it. I believe that the heads of the Dermo, Ivan and... what's her name? Corilla.
So the vampire.
Ivan and Corilla knew that this was going to be the route that the church was going to take. That there was going to be some detective and try and figure out who did it. The only problem is that they hired a good detective and figured out what the fuck they were doing.
So the vampires probably aren't happy that we were called here in the first place. We weren't a part of the plan.
I think the Dermos were happy that we were called because it's part of their plan, but the fact that we figured out their plan is what's going to bite them in the ass. And currently, right now, there's already fighting between the Dermo and the Makarovs over the blood farms to the east.
How best should we handle this? Reveal their treachery to the other houses, or?
Well, the other houses are also threatening the Makarovs threatening the Dermo via the note that we found in Ivan's room from Corvin. And the DeVee just seemed to be a pawn in this whole thing from the Makarov. Which, in the end, the only thing that... There's not really a side to this except for, if you were playing a moral thing into it, because each of the vampire lords have just as much claim to the throne as the other. So it's not like they're... I don't know. It's not like they can truly betray, especially since she's in charge right now. The only reason that she's not fully in charge is because Makarov is staking too much claim in everyone's territories.
If there's no way for us to bring anyone to justice, then why are we here?
To split the houses apart.
No.
We're here to...
By our own will, not by theirs. What are we to do?
Well, I think that falls onto what do you think about the blood farms.
I'm not a...
I want to say something, but I can't because my character doesn't know it yet.
Yeah. I was thinking... I sent a raven to Ivan to return as soon as possible so we can talk. I'm going to get him to spill his plans in exchange for what he needs to know the most, and that's the location to the 3rd floor of the blood farms.
Might I also suggest, if we want to discuss Ivan,
I pull out the yellow potion.
pluck a hair from his head and put it in this. Terry says it'll reveal something important.
Who has the highest stealth amongst us?
I do.
No, you don't.
You have a disadvantage
I
too.
Look at the negative
I
still.
have a +7 to stealth.
Yeah, I just have a +5.
Ooh, I have
didn't take it.
disadvantage too.
I have a +7, so.
So you'll be the one doing the plucking, most likely.
As if he's not going
I'm
to
a
feel us
sneaky
rip hair
horse.
out of his
It
head.
could just be done during an interrogation, just to be won by...
It's true.
Yeah, he's going to feel it.
Matter if you
But once we
Then it
give,
doesn't matter if we're sneaky.
Yeah, I could just rip it.
what will we be asking for in return
What
for
beautiful
the
hair.
location?
We're going to get him to reveal his plan.
But then what?
Because he knows about his mother's death. He knows what time it happened. And he lied about not knowing. Because if he got her power, he would feel that surge of energy, especially if it was a vampire lord's. He would know when his mother died. He wouldn't just think to himself, "Oh, I'm strong now." He would think, "Oh, my mother just died and I have her power."
Insta-girth.
So obviously he was in on it. And also his general was a key player in the retrieving of the Makarov dagger.
Is he?
And they're pretty buddy-buddy.
First, I'd want to investigate. Is he truly the heir? Is he the oldest?
He's the only.
Yeah, he's the only child.
There's
He is the only child.
There's only one child of the
What-
Dermo.
What is in this third level of the blood?
The third level is experimentation about how to make vampires stronger. When vampires don't drink blood within 3 days, they become starved and become ravaged beasts. They become stronger and more powerful than like a base vampire, but they lose any will or ability to think. And then if they don't drink blood within the next 24 hours, they die. The experimentation is to try and figure out how to extend that as well as retain their memory.
Perhaps he's trying to perhaps this is connected to his mother. Perhaps
So the plan
trying
somehow
to
went
get in
wrong?
there to revive his mother with what he finds.
Well, he was already fighting before his mother was killed.
True.
So their plan failed because he didn't receive her power when she died?
He might have
He-
the powers and is hiding it.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Do we have any idea what powers the vampire?
That's my point. It seems as though
I go and think back to my time with the bee. Do I know any powers they have that sets them far apart?
They're immune to most things that vampires would normally be unimmune to, like garlic, a stake through the heart, silver,
Running water.
fire.
Having to ask
Yeah.
permission.
They still can't see themselves in the mirror. They're just generally more powerful. They're revered as
We
holy.
could try and hold
But-
some of the vampire weaknesses up to him.
Go set up some of your incense, but drop a couple cloves of garlic in it. Set up the room. If he comes in and starts coughing and reacting to it, then we know he won't have
I start like taking things out of my cloak, and I have like a wooden stake and a little silver amulet. We should try these too.
it. I mean, we just need to try one.
Perhaps we.
And then
Stab 'em with a
they
piece
reach
of
into their
wood.
sleeve and take out a whole string of garlic. I came prepared this time. And then I walk off.
Okay. I'm going to blip back into the other room and wait for Ivan.
You would see that he is coming up the corridor.
Oh, I was letting them know
Oh,
that
sorry.
that's what I was doing. But
Yeah.
then after is
Okay, I start to like use shape water to drain some of the liquid from the like fresh garlic so that it's more dry,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put it over top some coals to basically turn it into incense, and just let that smoke begin to like swell in the chamber.
and then
Okay.
I'll go retrieve Ivan.
So
Go
Ivan
with-
Yeah, you
is
can come.
Yeah.
with Carrie right now, and they're walking down the corridor, and he makes eye contact with you, and he looks at her, and he motions for her to go into the offices rather than go into the room. And he walks up to you. Hello, detective. How are you? I got your message. How did you know I was... Oh. And he just assumes that you were in his room.
Yeah, your guard said that you gave us permission to go snooping around. We just
Is-
have a couple questions, and we
is
think it'd
he-
be safe if we take you into our interrogation room. Not to interrogate you, but for the safety of you. Because we
May-
know that these walls have ears.
He smiles. And he's like, they're my ears. But may I ask where this place is?
It's everywhere yet nowhere, and then I'm gonna grab him and blip.
Okay. So he's a little taken aback. It's like, these are your offices?
Whenever we blip back, we're in the interrogation
Oh,
room.
we're in the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and I've-
purposely
and- okay,
left
so-
the
yeah,
interrogation
And I've
room.
got the garlic incense going.
Okay,
And
well,
Doris is just on the other end and
Have-
behind the glass.
looks around.
And
Ah,
Insight check.
yes, this seems very friendly.
It's just a clean steel room with a steel table and like
I also
one
wanna-
steel chair on one side.
I
and,
also
like,
want-
one
I
on
also
the
wanna-
other.
I also, well, I want to point out, like, the incense I'm trying to keep, like, as subtle as possible, just, like, a little bit burning.
Yeah, he does.
Like, the scent is still pervading the entire room.
He's not
but
reacting to the
He's
garlic.
not reacting.
Can I do an insight check as well, just during this entire interrogation?
Trying to see if he reacts, and he's
Who's
hiding
gonna
it.
be in
Just
the room
in
with me?
general, we're
well,
for
I'm-
this entire
You want to be?
if he
Yeah.
wants at all.
No, you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait to do the insight until. he says.
So
Alright.
me and Biff are in the room. Are you guys like standing
I'm in
on
the other. I'm
You're
in
like
the
standing on the
glass.
other side of the glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
yeah.
I'm gonna take my silver amulet. It has like a. It has a symbol of one of the old gods, holy gods, like carved on it, and I'm going to like slip it like in between like because I have like cloth wrapping around the palm of my hand. I want to slip it in there, so only a little bit of it's peeking out, and I want to like walk up to the guy and be like, "Ah, it's lovely to see you," and I'm gonna take one of his
catches your
hands
arm.
in your hand in his.
He's gonna catch your arm. I can sense silver. And then throws it away. I would appreciate it if you don't touch me with that.
Oh, I'm please.
But there is
my
one thing
humblest
that you can't
apologies.
sense.
What?
Garlic.
Oh no, I knew it was in the room. I can smell it. It's garlic.
Yeah.
But
Yes, but you're not getting all veiny or whenever you're getting around it, so that is very suspicious.
nor would I get all veiny or gross if you touch me with silver. It's the principle of the thing. Don't come at a vampire with silver.
Or like a piece of wood.
Okay,
Either
just
way,
just as a final test, they're gonna start muttering in very quick succession some holy scripture that they picked up from one of the.
Can you roll a Constitution saving throw for me?
I pull out my cross and my
But is he reacting?
And my
He's
water-
about to. Can you please roll a
my water gun
Constitution?
full of holy water.
In the beginning.
Should I make a Constitution save, by the way, since I'm a vampire and in a room full of garlic?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I can't read it.
10.
Okay, so you will.
Die.
His arm is going to come up, and he's going to take control of all of your body, basically, and he's going to throw you against the wall. And I need you to take 10 damage, 10 blood, physical. Yeah.
Gosh.
And he's going to look at you. Don't ever speak those words to me again. And then he'll look at you and, please.
I'm surprised that worked.
It-
I mean,
it-
it obviously didn't do anything to him, so our point is proven. This dude's got the mojo on him.
Ivan,
I'm gonna put out the incense.
Okay.
when the church hired us, how did you feel?
Honestly, I was glad because the Makarovs were extremely eager to head this operation. Sure, they had the money, they could have bought it, but I didn't want that. Whenever I found out, I wanted the church because generally they are unbiased, because they respect each of the vampire lords equally, and well, from there you can gather why I would appreciate that.
Was our name specifically ever brought up, or were we just sort of drawn from the hat?
Your reputation, and it was 50-50. I was never involved in the hiring process. It was strictly the church.
Have you heard of us personally?
No.
While he's speaking, I'm going to use a channel divinity, and I'm going to attempt to read his mind.
Are you hoping to find something specific, or just in general?
I would like to know if he's feeling. I mainly want to feel his emotions. So is he like feeling uncomfortable about these questions? Is
He's a
there?
little apprehensive, but he doesn't seem to be lying.
Okay.
I mean, he's being questioned in a room. I mean, sure, he might be very powerful, but I mean, it's still a little nerve-wracking
Okay, I'm just gonna keep kind of this monitor on his thoughts as we go.
Okay.
Is that how Channel Divinity works?
It's for knowledge, Claire.
It's their channel divinity.
Ivan, when you say our reputation, do you mean our sleuth skills or something else? And I'm gonna look over at Ari.
Well, reputation, what I mean by that is how quickly you can solve a murder or something to that degree. Because we know that you're very thorough. Because I've read files once you were hired. And from there, you take a little while to gather all the facts you need before you finally make a final verdict, which is good. We don't want anyone rushing into anything and accusing someone wrongly. At the same time, it's not good to be hasty. You want to take your time, and then from there, make your...
I'm going to cut him off and slam the book on the table, the one about how to kill a vampire.
And then I follow suit and slam the table as well.
Okay.
Point at the book.
What is his reaction to this? His mind and his feelings.
God damn!
The book, oh shit. There are only 2 copies of that book. How did they find it?
But in this situation, like what thought is being brought to the forefront? Not just dialogue, but like imagery. I want all
this
of
is not
shit.
good. I mean, it's not that it's not good. It was figured that it would be found eventually, since it is in her room.
But it was like, this was quick.
But this was quick. He wasn't expecting you to have that much on it yet.
Okay. Is he worried about us having this information?
Some of it, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, do we have like a mic that goes?
Okay, I
into
need
this
to
room?
hold on.
Probably.
So that like me and
After I slam the book and cut him off, and he does the... And then...
Yeah. He
I'm
quickly
gonna say-
regains his composure. So,
Ivan, we know that you were the first one to know about your mother's murder, but it wasn't that morning that you came to check on her. We also know that the dagger wasn't stolen by a Devi or used by a Mark Cobb. It was taken by Dermo, your general, and brought to her.
he smiles, and then very quickly it is true. I knew she would be dying, but at the same time, she knew she would be dying, and Carrie knew that she would be dying. We're the only 3 that knew. And we needed... House Makarov was getting too powerful, and we had to pit the Devi and the Makarovs against each other. If we did that and their forces weakened, we could theoretically take over, finally regain our land, but it would have to be a substantial sacrifice. And my mother knew that it wouldn't carry the same weight if I died. So, after eons of planning, we finally carried through. She killed herself. Made it look like both the Dermo and the Makarovs were involved. So that they would pit themselves against each other. And it's already started. Quen and Corvin, they don't talk like they used to, which is perfect. And that gave me ample time so I could capture the blood farms before she died. If only she would have given me a little more time, I could have resurrected her, but I fear it's too late now. And I couldn't find the 3rd floor. So many soldiers looking, and still no one's found anything. It's...
Well, Ivan, let's work out a deal.
He's a little confused, like, what could you have that I possibly need?
2 things. A little information from a file of Corvin's. Actually, they're both information from a file of Corvin's. I only have one's written, though. The other one you're going to have to take me on my word because I didn't have time to copy it down.
Okay.
But my question is, what are you going to do once you take control of your territory? Is it up, and away to where the Dermo take control of everything, or are you just trying to get equal footing once again?
I want equal footing once again.
Insight check.
I will do that as well.
You
I
guys
don't know.
don't need to do that. I'm muttering his thoughts.
Well,
we
I
want
don't know
to.
you're doing that.
But we want to.
Unless you announced to us that you were.
I'm gonna give myself guidance.
I rolled a
Well,
17.
you were looking at me, right?
I looked at you in reference to you being an angel.
Okay.
I give myself guidance.
Because I have the theory that they hired us so that way if we could end up taking the blame because you're an angel.
I'm going to flip up a card.
Got a 26.
18.
He's telling the truth. He does want equal footing.
I got an 18.
Yeah, he wants equal footing. I do want equal footing, but at the same time, we will not be able to have equal footing. I am the ruler for now, and if I cannot resurrect my mother, I will be the ruler until it is time for me to go to sleep in 500 years. That would make Melina the next ruler.
Do you need to get to the 3rd floor to resurrect your mother? Is that what where you think the key is?
Yes, it has the advanced technologies that Makarov has in there is obscene. And if we could get down there, I might be able to. If not, then I don't know what'll happen.
Has he been speaking truthfully this whole time?
Yes, he's been speaking truthfully. He doesn't see any reason to lie since you have so many facts.
If that's the case, we can give you the information that you need, because we know the location to the 3rd floor, as well as a tool that you could use to break the union between the Devi and the Makarov.
How? That since we were kids, they've
Just promise me that in the future you'll find a better way to harvest blood. That's the only thing that I ask for. Instead of knocking out humans and draining them of all they have for years.
This is the most efficient way. I mean, I even know you're a vampire. Have you made it apparent?
I mean, it's not like I don't hide it. So if there's a way to sense,
Okay.
then
He can't sense vampires, but it is the most efficient way to collect blood is in these farms. After I hate to agree with Cassius, but after eons and eons of many of my people and others turning, we've had nothing but full bellies for the past 1,000 years, and honestly, that has been amazing.
well, why don't you just create a what's it called? Why don't you just do a tax? Make a blood tax. People would continue to live their lives. You'd make more money. You'd obviously get more people overall because, I mean, people give birth to more than just one children. Population would increase, taxes would increase, and then you'd just be able to have more blood. Or you can make an incentive to where people get paid for donating their blood. So, or tax write-offs for donating their blood. They can donate taxes or they can donate their blood.
I can promise you that I will look into other ways, whether it be a blood tax, synthetic blood, or something else. But I cannot promise that it will be it will immediately go away.
Don't worry, I have time. And I pull down my long collar to show the 2 bite marks in my neck.
I see.
Quite a few of us have time.
And then
You're in the other room.
Do you have a microphone?
I pull out the card of the scales to show
At the
that he's
same
being
time.
truthful this whole time.
So, I do hope that I'm not the bad guy. I have done questionable things, of course, but it was in the name for my land, my mother, who I love very, very much, and I hated to see her go. Corvin is evil. Cassius is evil. Quite frankly, I cannot take them down because Corvin is planning on waking his father. I don't know when, but it's soon.
They want to keep you busy on prom night, ball night. They want to keep you in the ball, so that might be the night.
I've suspected that. But
So, okay, you made your promise. Here's the paper information that I have, and I slide him the chalk wording of the Quinn's file.
Quinn's file.
Yeah.
Okay. So he reads it, and I mean, he's in complete disbelief. He's this whole time, I can't believe it, and he's like, he's really sad because you can tell he did and still does care for Quinn. Whenever I said him and Carrie were close, friends, you know, they really trusted each other. It wasn't like a romantic type like this. And yeah, he's just in disbelief. We can't tell this to her immediately. We need to, when the time is right, reveal all of our cards like you did now.
And then, last but not least, the entrance to the third floor. It's on the back left corner under a tile of the second floor. And only those with vampire blood can open it.
Okay. We'll investigate that further. Okay. So, next plans.
What do you mean?
The general, like, big leader.
The demon?
The demon? Well, they already... You've already fought a demon, correct?
Yeah. I should have a feather. I needed my generals to analyze it to see what kind of demon he was specifically and see what kind of weaknesses he had.
Demon Mulglower Olrath.
What? He's a demon prince. How did the Makarovs get in with him? How do the Makarovs own him? And he's very perplexed. And that's yeah.
Yeah.
We need to go to the ball, and we need to be united. So, if you'll allow me to go to my office, I can get us all wristbands so we can stay connected, similar to the one I have now. And it shows, it's just a little kind of dot, like that was pinged earlier. And it's like, but I can do that in a minute. And then he kind of just sits back in disbelief at some of the stuff that you've told him and other things. And I mean, he hasn't really had time to sit down, and think about what he's done. He's kind of doing that now. So.
For a little extra pay, we'd be willing to go get more of these files from Corvin so that you'd be able to actually blackmail him instead of just this phony ripoff.
Would you also fight with me? I did see some of your
warriors. I just turn
warriors.
over to the others. And I'm like, this isn't my call. And I look at them, and then I look at the mirror that's behind me.
I must consult the spirits first.
Spirits.
We'd be fighting for...
They're bleeding humans.
This is actually a good way to use augury to see whether or not us making this decision will be good or not.
This would be fighting for balance between the houses again.
Okay.
We'd not only be solving a murder, we'd be reviving them.
Okay.
Career first.
Ivan
Career
looks at you
first,
and
reversing
apologizes and
reversing a
restores your
crime.
health.
That is true, Ben.
Okay.
So,
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take out.
hang on. So,
I'm
are you
going-
with me?
I'm gonna take out.
Exciting.
Dang it, I was wanting that to be the end. Damn it! You're all gonna say yes. And
Wait.
Well, what does the
Connor.
augury say?
I'm gonna take out the sun.
Be faster! I need to get this man home.
I'm gonna take out the sun card and the devil card, and I'm
Okay.
gonna mix them up, lay them down randomly, and then flip up the first one, casting augury. So,
Okay, so
if it's the devil, it's bad, obviously, and if it's the sun, it's good. So if we get involved in this conflict, what is the outcome going to be?
Exactly.
It's both.
it'll be good, but you
So I
see
get
a
the sun.
shadow kind of on it. So it's not.
So
all-
it's the sun inverted.
yeah, sort of.
Pulls it up upside down.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Then I-
There's-
As
say I'm not with you, and I stab him to start combat.
Whoa!
What the fuck?